actor, comedian, Curb Your Enthusiasm legend Jeff Garland's going to join us on the show as well today. But I want to start with the big local story that was broken yesterday by WSB Radio Capitol reporter Jonathan O'Brien, who joins us live here on the Mark Arum Show. The announcement that Governor Brian Kemp will not run for Senate here in the state of Georgia. Jonathan, how did the announcement come down?
Right, Mark. Well, we had a feeling we would be hearing something about it a few weeks ago. Governor Kemp telling me and several other reporters that he was thinking about this, that he was going to take some time now that the legislative session was over to really think about that. Of course, he's had weeks of bill signings, and you never want something like this to, kind of take over the cycle and kind of overshadow those bill signings. So for it to come down on Monday afternoon was surprising. We didn't know if we'd hear about it later this summer, but we did expect some sort of decision. And of course, it has certainly sent shockwaves through Georgia politics.
Yeah, I mean, this was the announcement that everyone was waiting for. Will he or won't he? Did the governor offer reasons why he's not going to seek the Senate seat?
Right. He just said that this was not the right time for his family. Some folks may not know, but one of the governor's daughters just recently got married. I believe it's his oldest daughter got married. So I think they are, thinking about that. And in his statement, he said that he conferred with his family. They decided it wasn't the right time, but that he was humbled by, all of the support and all of the pressure. And I know we've talked about that before, Mark. He was getting pressure from national Republicans as well as local Republicans. It was reported that John Thune, the Senate Majority Leader, even was personally pushing Kemp to get into this race. So this is upending the Republican field in the Senate race.
Yeah, and there was already preemptive polling from the aforementioned folks in D.C. and here in Georgia showing that Governor Kemp would have had a wide margin if he ran head-to-head against Senator Jon Ossoff, which made it seem likely that the governor would run for the seat. Let me bring in producer Deborah Green for a second. Deborah, can you go ahead and pat me on the back for a second?
Absolutely.
Because yet another political prediction that yours truly made has come true. Jonathan, I didn't see this happening. I for a number of reasons. One, family and commitments and everything. But I think that, it's a different animal, the Senate, right? So Governor Kemp has led the state for 2 terms. The buck stops with him. He is the final voice. He gets to sign those laws. He gets to dictate policy. And to go from that position to one of 100 in the Senate, and there's nothing. Listen, the being a senator is a huge honor. But I didn't see the necessary drive, maybe, for Governor Kemp to seek that Senate seat.
Exactly. And it's funny, you and I are on the same wavelength, Mark. Great minds think alike and fools never differ, as my grandmother would say. But no, I mean, you're right. You go from being the top man to being one of 100. UGA political science professor Charles Bullock told me yesterday, he pointed out several things. You don't get a chauffeur driven car. You don't get the governor's mansion. You're probably living in an apartment there in D.C. It's a very
And
different
you're in
life.
D.C., which is another.
Exactly.
Yeah, you're not
Right.
you're not on West Paces Ferry or in beautiful Athens, Georgia. All right, so the announcement dropped, surprised a lot of folks. Didn't surprise me. I'm happy to report, but already the rumors are starting to swirl. Let's start with Governor Kemp's future, because I got on social media after you broke the story, and there were people saying, "Oh, he's going to gear up for a run for the presidency. Oh, he's going to go work for the University of Georgia as a possibility." What other rumors are you hearing out there?
I've heard exactly what you're saying, and I think the presidential run is the thing that you hear a lot of folks talking about. I have no inside information on his thoughts about that, but I can say that, if you just look at the board, I think it's really going to depend on the popularity of President Trump in 2028 and how Republicans want to pivot maybe towards that legacy or away from it, and where Kemp falls on that spectrum will be a key deciding factor, in my view. This is just my opinion on whether or not he chooses to run for the highest office in the land. Obviously, he is an Athens native and UGA grad. I think that if there is an opportunity for him there, I am sure he will take it. But again, I have no inside information on that. I think his options are wide open. He's very popular. He's done a lot for the business community in this state. You always hear about former governors going to serve on boards and different things
Yeah.
like that. So I think he will have plans in his future. What those are, we just don't know exactly yet.
Yeah, the final chapter of Governor Kemp's career has not been written yet. WSB Radio Capitol reporter Jonathan O'Brien joining us live here on the Mark Arum Show. All right, so that first domino fell. Who is going to run? I mean, I would expect this to be a wide open race now for the Senate seat. Now that Governor Kemp says he is not going to run, what are some of the names you're hearing, or have you not heard any names just yet?
No, I have definitely heard names. I've heard Insurance and Fire Safety Commissioner John King, who's all but in the weeks leading up to this announced his bid, but has been really holding back. You saw a lot of Republicans kind of making the moves to run. Congressman Mike Collins from out in East Georgia, he is one who is, tweeting things indicating that he is ready to, jump into this Senate race. So I think there are quite a few members of Congress who are considering this. And you have to think about when we have multiple members of Congress jumping into this race, depending on if they stay in it past qualifying, we will then have open congressional seats. So we will have, as Charles Bullock, to paraphrase him, we will have a very wild 2026 across the state. And of course, you heard Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene. She is among those people mulling a bid for Senate or governor.
So if Congressman Collins or Congresswoman Green decide for run for this, they then cede or forfeit their House seats?
If they stay in the race for the governor or Senate until I believe it is a date in March of next year, they can't run in two seats. So if they feel that their campaign has the legs and they can keep going and they, would rather continue on into the primary for the Senate or the governor's race, then they will have to give up their seat. They can't be on the ballot in two races.
Interesting. All right, Jonathan O'Brien broke the story yesterday, joins us live here on the show this morning. Jonathan, thanks for your time, buddy. Really appreciate it.
Happy to be with you, Mark.
There you go. That was the big political bombshell, which, of course, Deborah, drops after we're off the air. But again, listen, I didn't have any inside info. I didn't talk to Governor Kemp, but I didn't see that path forward for him wanting to take that path forward. Obviously, if he wanted it, it was there for him. But I mean, social media, I heard he's going to go be the new head of the University of Georgia, which would be a phenomenal job, or he's going to keep his powder dry and maybe run for president in 2028. And Jonathan hit the nail on the head. It all depends on President Trump's popularity pre and post midterms in 2026, if that window opens, or you wait till 2032. Right, Governor Kemp's not an old man. He has got a long future ahead of him. All right, so we did get some reaction. Credit to Shelley Winter, who you hear, a longtime friend of the show, Team Shelley. You hear him 7 to 9 p.m. on WSB Radio. He had Marjorie Taylor Greene on his show last night commenting on Governor Kemp's announcement.
Yeah, I absolutely love my district, so I'll keep my options open, but I haven't really made any clear decisions yet.
So asked if she would run for that Senate seat. She has not yet made any decisions.
Every single primary poll I've seen, I win overwhelmingly, and that's because of the incredible support I have all over the state of Georgia.
And one more final cut for Marjorie Taylor Greene, courtesy of the Shelley Winter Show.
As far as I'm concerned, I've got options open to me.
So, all right, that last line. I'm going to play it again for the cheap seats. It was a quick little cut.
As far as I'm concerned, I've got options open to me.
So I talked to Shelley, Deborah, via the Piccadilly text line, and he says with that line that she's going to keep her options open, that Marjorie Taylor Greene might not run for Senate, but run for Governor Kemp's seat as governor. Oh. So he translated that her saying, hey, I'm going to keep my options open means, hey, I might not run for Senate. I might not run for governor. I think she, listen, who knows? It's going to be a wide open race, I think, on the Republican side for both the Senate seat and the governor's mansion. I don't know if she'd be a favorite or not, but when we talked to Jason Estevez, the state senator who's running for the Democratic seat, the biggest concern that I think his campaign is statewide recognition. Right? People in Augusta, people in Savannah, people in Valdosta might not know the name Jason Estevez. But I'll tell you what, Deborah, people in all those aforementioned cities, they know who Marjorie Taylor Greene is. There's not a resident in the state that doesn't know who MTG is. So she has got that advantage, even over, I would say, a John King, the insurance commissioner, or a Congressman Mike Collins. They certainly are well known, but not as well known as Marjorie Taylor Greene is statewide. And we got reaction this morning from Senator Ossoff. A lot of folks assumed it would be Kemp versus Ossoff for that Senate seat. Senator Ossoff joined Chris Chandler on Atlanta's Morning News.
You know, these primaries on the Republican side have largely become auditions for President Trump's backing.
That is a fair point, right? If you get the president's backing in elections, you tend to fare better.
I wish Governor Kemp and the First Lady the best, and I expect it will be a very competitive Republican primary.
And who will be standing? Obviously, Senator Ossoff is not going to be primaried. He will be running against the Republican challenger.
Regardless of who runs, I'm prepared for any challenger. And, you know, my daily work is serving the people of Georgia, continuing the legislative work I'm doing on behalf of my constituents in the U.S. Senate.
Senator Jon Ossoff this morning on Atlanta's Morning News. One final cut for you.
I don't waste a lot of time worrying about who might run. I'm ready for any challenge, but my job is to represent the state, to continue working across the aisle in the Senate to serve the state.
I don't know anything from inside the Ossoff campaign, but I envisioned them popping champagne yesterday when Governor Kemp said he was not running for Senate. I think Senator Ossoff has a much greater chance of being reelected if the person on the other side of the ballot isn't two-time Georgia Governor Brian Kemp. So huge political story. Tomorrow, very excited, we'll be joined live by political analyst Stephen Lawson. He and I have been previewing the governor's race and what the governor might do, so he's going to join us live tomorrow on the show. Really, really big political story there, again, broken by our own Jonathan O'Brien. Governor Kemp is not going to seek the Senate seat. What comes next for him? That is the question. Hey, coming up in exactly 1 hour. Yeah, 1 hour from right now, I'm going to give you a 5K day bonus blitz keyword. Another chance for you to win $1,000 here on 95.5 WSB. Come back, update our top local stories after we check the Tuesday morning ride around town. Let's say hello and good morning to Mike Shields.
Hey, good morning, Mark. And overall, not too bad on the roads, but things getting slow quickly with roadwork setting up. And don't be surprised as you travel on the West Freeway today. This set up in a right lane already. I-20 westbound at Fulton Industrial Boulevard, exit 49. Early road work outbound, and that is having a negative impact quickly back to 285 and soon impacting 285 ramping onto I-20 westbound, so be aware of those delays. Also seeing delays into Lawrenceville with right lane road work. 316 eastbound of Riverside Parkway are sluggish leaving Sugarloaf Parkway. The support is brought to you by Whole Foods Market. Save on your favorite brands at Whole Foods Market. Get 30% off Sienna items through Prime through May 6th while supplies last. Shop in store, online, terms apply. I'm Mike Shields, 95.5 WSB.
On air,
online,
on the app,
where you get your news,
is where you'll win.
Download the WSB radio app now and maybe win $1,000.
The WSB 5K a day bonus blitz.
5 words, 5 times a day, every weekday.
Oh my God, you saved my day.
Just enter the word at WSBradio.com or on the WSB radio app.
Your next chance to win is coming up at 10.
The WSB 5K a day bonus blitz
on 95.5 WSB.
This Mother's Day, don't just buy a gift, make one. Only at D. Geller & Son Jewelers, you can build mom a one-of-a-kind piece of jewelry, designed by you, crafted by our master jewelers. Here's how it works. Pick a ring, bracelet, or necklace from our Mother's Day collection, pick the birthstones that represent your family, and our master jewelers hand-set them into something that's hers forever. Prices start at just $3.95. So come build your own Mother's Day jewelry only at D. Geller & Son in Kennesaw, Sandy Springs, and online at dgeller.com.
Is your heating and cooling system so old you can't remember when it was installed? If so, it's time to get protection from Reliable Heating and Air. Hey, friends, it's Mark Arum. Check this out. Let Reliable Heating and Air protect your AC from breakdowns and your budget. Just $14.99 a month. They're licensed, bonded, and insured. No deductibles, no claims or paperwork, no service fees, just coverage for your aging AC and heating systems. Get all the information you need online at reliableair.com.
I'm here with Chris Hoffman, the founder of Hoffman Financial Group and host of Money Unleashed. Chris, with all the things we're reading, seeing, and living through these days, from rate cuts, election season, and now a new administration, now seems like a great time to make sure we have that comprehensive plan in place. You know, the one that covers all our financial bases.
There are occasions throughout the year where I feel like it's critical for people to engage their financial lives and get the information that they deserve from a financial advisory team. And this is one of those times, to be quite frank. So we ask that you call us if you have a minimum of $500,000 in your full portfolio. But we're going to do away with that minimum so that those folks can have an equal opportunity to understand what's in their portfolio as well. Now, you have to have some money, right? I can't help you to build your wealth at work, right? But I sure can help, I believe, with your 401k, IRA management. There's probably 2 or 3 things that'll surprise you that you may want to take action on. So the next 10 people that call in, we'll work up either a portfolio x-ray, or if you feel like you need a full retirement plan, go to unleashyourmoney.com, click on Portfolio X-ray, or click on Full Retirement Plan. We think you'll be impressed enough, and we want you to become a client. There's no question about it. We believe that we are a very competent fiduciary advisory team, and we want to offer that to our listeners. Let Hoffman Financial Group actually show you how we perform, and I believe we perform at the pinnacle of this industry.
Call the Hoffman Financial Group at 404-737-3858, 404-737-3858, or online at unleashyourmoney.com. Investment advisory services offered through Brookstone Wealth Advisors, a registered investment advisor. Insurance and annuities offered through Hoffman Financial Group Incorporated, Georgia Insurance License number 163546.
Have you ever had a bad experience getting repair work done on your European car? You need to get to know Wolf Pen Auto Repair in Roswell for honest estimates with honest pricing by factory certified techs for work on your Porsche, Mercedes-Benz, Audi, or BMW. Search Wolf Pen Auto Repair and see the difference.
Dad, one more horsey ride, please.
This living room rodeo moment made possible by Emory Orthopedics and Spine Center. When Dad needed back surgery, he came to Emory. The difference? Emory's among the highest in patient satisfaction and best surgical outcome rates in the nation. And Emory uses the most advanced research developed by our top surgeons to get Dad's back surgery done right the first time. Giddy up. EmoryHealthcare.org/orthodifference.
With thousands of 5-star reviews, it's no wonder CertaPro Painters is Greater Atlanta's most preferred painting company. Hear from one of their happy customers.
We wanted to add some color to our walls, so we hired CertaPro. We had built-in shelves that were supposed to be ready to paint when they got there, which they were not. CertaPro spent hours caulking and sanding to make sure the job was done right. It's rare to find a crew with integrity who really take pride in their work.
When choosing a painting professional, choose happy. Choose CertaPro Painters.
Each CertaPro Painters business is independently owned and operated.
Get the dirt out before school's out and call Zero Res. Right now, get 3 rooms of carpet clean for just $129. Mention me, Chris Chandler, to secure this deal today. Book online at ZeroResAtlanta.com. Zero Res, spell it backwards or forwards. It's the right way to clean.
2027 NFL Draft. That's a big thing. Will be held right here in our nation's capital, Washington, D.C., on the National Mall. And you get a little glimpse of it.
That kind of came out of left field. Welcome back to the Mark Arum Show. President Trump saying, hey, the NFL draft's going to be in D.C. next year. It is a big deal. Did he just unilaterally say, hey, I want the draft? And then the NFL commissioner's like, okay. Could I have said that? Could I be like, hey, we're announcing the 2027 draft. It's going to be in the live lounge at WSB Radio. And is it like the first to claim it gets it? Anyway, I think that's pretty cool. Speaking of football, interesting football story, Deborah. We've been talking about so many airlines cutting flights right now because of the dip in tourism and economic uncertainty. Our hometown Delta Airlines, though, is actually adding more flights, and it relates to football.
Yeah, Delta is brilliant for doing this, too. They're going to be adding more than 40 flights to help college football fans get to more away games. 25 cities are going to have additional service, so South Bend, Columbus, Austin, Knoxville, Gainesville, a whole bunch of others. But these extra flights are going to have the big matches that you can think of for rivalries like LSU and Clemson, Texas, Ohio State, Notre Dame games. There's a couple of my Badger games in there, so I'm very excited personally.
Go back. Yeah, that is a smart move. And they're planning it ahead, which is good. Because a lot of times they'll add flights at the last minute, like, oh, a lot of Bulldogs fans are going to the Cotton Bowl. We better send some more flights to Dallas Fort. But they're proactive in this. I've never been on one of those flights where it's all fans of one team, where it's, all Bulldogs fans going to the Rose Bowl out in Pasadena, where the whole flight is just chanting Bulldog. I've never had that experience. The greatest sports flight experience I've ever had, though, Judd, I'm going to make you really jealous. It was back when the Braves were on WSB Radio, and they were in the postseason taking on the Houston Astros. And for the first time ever, I got to fly out with the team on the Delta flight. So Delta is the official airline of the Atlanta Braves, and they have their own plane, and they fly out. And I'd never flown on their plane before. And Dave Baker, who was the producer at the time, he's like, you got to wear a jacket, like a blazer.
Yeah.
Make sure they won't let you on this. So I got a blazer. We went through the special security line, and I'm walking on, and I'm making next to no money at this point on WSB Radio. And I walk on, and the flight attendant's got a basket of Chick-fil-A sandwiches as we're walking on.
Man.
She's like, do you want a Chick-fil-A sandwich? I'm like, how much are they? She looks at me. She's like, dude, they're free. I was like, what?
Oh, man.
I was like, can I have 2? She goes, take as many as you want. I mean, there were 100 Chick-fil-A sandwiches.
You're stuffing them in your pocket.
So I took 2, and I was like, this is awesome. And then the whole flight, the food just kept coming and coming. And I was food insecure. So I'm stuffing Snickers bars and granola bars in my bag. It was the greatest flight experience. I mean, I was in coach, but man, there was a printed menu. I still have the menu printed out.
You took that too?
Oh yeah, it was the greatest flight ever.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I was
Man.
like, how much are the Chick-fil-A sandwiches? She's like, they're free, Aram. Now go find your seat. Anyway, kudos to Delta for proactively adding more football flights. All right, Judd right there. He's got a big local story he's going to update you on when we come back. Going live to D.C., Jennifer Jacobs, White House reporter for CBS News, on an interesting proposal from President Trump trying to incentivize illegal aliens to leave the country. We'll talk about that next on The Mark Arum Show.
At Mayo Clinic in Florida, we are conquering the unconquerable. Our experts are leading the way with innovative regenerative medicines and biotherapeutics that can repair diseased, injured, or defective tissues and organs to help treat people with chronic medical conditions. We're making more possible at Mayo Clinic because every day we're doing what's never been done. Learn more at mayoclinic.org/possible. Mayo Clinic, you know where to go.
Last Saturday, we sat through a 3-hour rain delay at Truist Park waiting to root on our Braves. Hey, it's Mark Arum back from my friends at Xfinity. Do you want made that 3-hour rain delay fly by? You can get Xfinity Wi-Fi at Truist Park. Yes, amazing Wi-Fi at the park. One of millions of Wi-Fi hotspots nationwide, thanks to Xfinity. If you're not on board the Xfinity family, take advantage now because you got amazingly fast internet at home, amazingly strong Wi-Fi in-home, anywhere around your home, and when you're on the go, whether you're going to a ball game or if you're at the airport or traveling, 20 million Wi-Fi hotspots nationwide and growing. So you're never disconnected thanks to my pals at Xfinity. Yeah, no joke. It was a 3 hours rain delay, but it was worth it. Thanks to Xfinity. Want you to learn more about everything that Xfinity has to offer? Go online to Xfinity.com, call 1-800-XFINITY, or visit your local Xfinity store near you today, Xfinity.com.
You still want a new deck on your house, but you think you may have missed a deck building window? Well, you're wrong. Dave Baker here. At Ben Hill Renovations, deck building goes on year-round. Whether your existing deck is old, rotting, and unsafe, or you just want to upgrade your outdoor living space, now is the perfect time to get the ball rolling. Check out their new website at bhrenovations.com. Better yet, go to their showroom, speak with the designer, and see all that they have to offer up close. Ben Hill Renovations, creating raving fans since 1964.
Live from the Superior Plumbing Studios.
News,
weather,
traffic.
95.5 WSB.
Atlanta's News and Talk.
It's 9:30. I'm Judd Hickenbotham. News this half hour brought to you by Beaver Toyota of Cumming. Our top story, reaction continues to come in following the announcement that Governor Kemp will not run next year for U.S. Senate. We hear this morning on WSB for the man he would have faced in that high-profile race next year.
He says he doesn't waste a lot of time worrying about who might run, but Democrat John Ossoff tells Atlanta's Morning News he expects a crowded Republican field next year.
You know, these primaries on the Republican side have largely become auditions for President Trump's backing.
Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene, Insurance Commissioner John King, and Secretary of State Brad Raffensperger are among the names emerging as possible contenders. Senator Ossoff says regardless of who runs, he's prepared for any challenger. Jennifer Perry, 95.5 WSB.
It's 59 degrees right now in Midtown Atlanta. WSB meteorologist Christina Edwards says warm up a bit today. The high getting into the upper 70s under partly cloudy skies. We're warm today and dry, but the rain chance goes up tomorrow, way up. Atlanta's most accurate and dependable forecast is coming up. New this morning out of Barrow County. It was not a long hearing this morning, but the accused Appalachia High School shooter makes a court appearance on a possible plea in the case. This is his defense attorney just moments ago.
As the court's aware, we're largely in agreement about the venue issue. We are here for the possible scheduling of a plea.
Now, talking about that venue issue, Colt Gray's defense team had been pushing for a change of venue out of Barrow County. His father, Colin Gray, has already been granted either a venue change or an out-of-county jury to be brought in. Colt Gray faces a long list of charges following the attack that left 4 people dead last year. Heads up for Cobb County commuters. Closures begin today on busy Stylesboro Road for waterline work that'll continue through the fall. Contractors will close the road near Kennesaw Mountain to replace and upgrade an underground water pipeline running under the road. First phase of the project will close Stylesboro from Gilbert to Old Mountain Road. Detours are now in place. Alpharetta's tourism arm could give the go-ahead today on a serious study on the city's viability as an NHL franchise home.
The Alpharetta Convention and Visitors Bureau is set to decide whether to fund half a $150,000 study on whether the city can support an ice arena, which an NHL team could call home, and if the site could thrive even in the off-season. City Manager Chris Lagerbloom is confident the ACVB will vote yes.
I believe we've done the homework we need to do to make the recommendation to move forward with a study like this. I really think Alpharetta is a special place, and I think it's naturally situated to be the home to something just this big.
Lagerbloom says that study will let residents know if a new facility there is the right fit and let the NHL know too. Veronica Waters, 95.5 WSB.
And we're sitting in about the middle of the road. Georgia ranks the 21st best state in the country, according to an annual ranking from U.S. News & World Report. Utah tops the list for a third straight year.
Utah performed well enough in all of the categories, and we assess them across healthcare, education, the economy, infrastructure, etc.
Jacqueline Jeffrey Walensky with U.S. News & World Report says New Hampshire comes in second place, followed by Idaho and Minnesota. Georgia ranking highest for fiscal stability, lowest for healthcare and opportunity for women and minorities. It's 9:33 as we check your money. Another down start on Wall Street. Dow, S&P, NASDAQ all starting well down, either right at 1% or just below 1%. Bad start here for your Tuesday. Now live team coverage of traffic and weather. Start the WSB 24-hour traffic center, Mike Shields.
And Judd, watching roadwork having a quick negative impact on your ride on the West Freeway. I-20 westbound, Fulton Industrial Boulevard, exit 49. Right lane taken out with roadwork, and this may last into the afternoon. Already slow back to 285, and that's impacted 285 north and southbound, just trying to get past I-20 exit 10. We're making your way through downtown Atlanta. Crash moved off to the shoulder, 75-85 southbound. Right at 10th Street. Northbound delays continue as you leave 166 getting past I-20 through the Grady Curve. I'm Mike Shields, 95.5 WSB.
This is WSB meteorologist Christina Upwards. A mix of sun and clouds today, high 77, lows tonight in the upper 50s. Tomorrow, mostly cloudy with hit or miss rain showers, high near 70. Thursday, mostly cloudy with scattered showers and thunderstorms, high 78.
60 degrees in Sandy Springs, 61 in Stockbridge, 59 degrees now in Midtown Atlanta at 9:34. More news at 10, breaking news when it happens. I'm Judd Hickenbotham, 95.5 WSB.
Everyone has an opinion.
We have become an idiotic nation that doesn't know how to even debate anything, so it doesn't surprise
Eric
me.
Von Hessler has an opinion.
You will still age.
And some advice.
Start doing things when you're younger. Drink a lot of water.
Eric Von Hessler, today at 3.
And you will still die.
95.5 WSB, Atlanta's News and Talk.
What's your expectation for your meeting with the Canadian Prime Minister tomorrow?
I don't know. He's coming to see me. I'm not sure what he wants to see me about, but I guess he wants to make a deal.
President
Everybody
Trump
does.
yesterday, yes, he is hosting the newly minted Canadian Prime Minister. We'll go to D.C. and preview that for you coming up on the Mark Arum Show.
Scott Slade here from iRoofer, FGA Roofing. Are you considering a new roof but not sure when you're going to be able to get it into the budget? FGA Roofing is offering a 000 offer this month. 0 down payment, 0 interest for 12 months, and 0 monthly payments. Search FGA Roofing for a free quote today.
I'm consumer investigator Dale Cardwell, and for
For over a decade, I've trusted America's best choice for windows, doors, siding, and decks.
Spring is the perfect time to update your home, and America's Best Choice makes it easy with these spring specials. Highest quality, energy-efficient windows starting at just $299. Take 10% off a new deck and create the outdoor oasis of your dreams. No pressure, no gimmicks. Visit abcwin.com today to schedule your free consultation.
Men, trouble in the bedroom? Not anymore. Priority Men's Medical Center restores your love life in just one visit. Their painless breakthrough treatments eliminate ED and PE. Here's a specialist in men's health.
I'm Dr. Simovitz. Have Viagra or Cialis let you down? Priority Men's Medical Center offers the most effective treatments that eliminate ED and PE, with men lasting longer than ever. 98% of patients see instant results on their first visit.
Priority Men's Medical Center's breakthrough treatments eliminate ED and PE, regardless of age or medical history. Your consultation and first treatment are free. You'll see instant results in the office. Plus, qualified patients get their testosterone checked free. Call 404-885-8885. 404-885-8885. To restore your love life in just one visit, call now. 404-885-8885.
Okay, so you love yard sales, but through the years, you've had to pass on a porch swing and an adorable ceramic Dalmatian because your car wasn't big enough. You need a Toyota Tundra from Beaver Toyota of Cumming. Dave Baker here. With your lifestyle, the Toyota Tundra is the perfect vehicle for you. It has plenty of room to haul stuff for work or play, plus it comes with the Beaver benefits, lifetime powertrain warranty, free oil changes, premium roadside assistance, and more. The Toyota Tundra from Beaver Toyota of Cumming. It's the official truck of the Home Fix-It Show. See more at beavertoyotacumming.com.
9:37 on the Mark Arum Show. Coming back to Prince, because 2 years ago today, Deborah, a prince became a king.
I, Charles, do solemnly and sincerely, in the presence of God, profess, testify, and declare that I am a faithful Protestant, and that I will, according to the true intent of the enactments which secure the Protestant succession to the throne, uphold and maintain the said enactments to the best of my powers according to law.
2 years ago, you heard it here on WSB Radio. King Charles III was crowned at Westminster Abbey. I didn't know there was that, swear allegiance to the Protestant Church in that vow.
Yeah.
So, when was the last time there was a Catholic king?
Remember we watched all those shows, the White Princess and the Red Princess, the War of the Roses and stuff like that, and they're basically, I think they're going to be Protestant from now on.
Yeah, forever, ever. But King Charles' health not well. I saw a story yesterday that whatever the prince's, one of his sons that is married to Meghan Markle, Harry was quoted as saying he wants to reconcile with his dad and the family soon because he doesn't think his dad has much time on the earth. That would I feel bad for him. He was a prince for his whole life, and then he's only been king for 2 years, and now he's got cancer. Anyway, that was 2 years ago today. Prince Charles became King Charles III. All right, local story. We're always trying to find new economic engines here in the state of Georgia, so we can get that $500 refund check coming up from Governor Kemp in just a couple of weeks. Data centers are becoming big business, not just here in Georgia, but nationwide. And now there's a data center plan, Deborah, a massive one. Do we know where this is going to go?
No, this is from the T5 data center, and they're looking to build a huge campus, but it doesn't say what city that it's going to be in. This is the fourth one that they will build here in Georgia, and they're estimating it about to be $16 billion. Ooh. Now, some say that data centers are just a huge drain on utilities, all the energy that they need, but they have very few people working around there, so it doesn't cause a lot of issues with traffic or schools or anything, and they bring in a huge amount of taxes.
$16 billion to build this data center, and the energy usage. What they say that it uses more energy than Plant Vogtle produces, or something like that.
Yeah, that's what they're saying.
Which is absolutely. Now, I guess the only downside with listen, you get a $16 billion project. That's great for the economy, but it's not like a data center employs 10,000 people.
No,
it's like 8 people. 8 security guards that, just are just watching the data center. But listen, drawbacks aside, if we can get a $16 billion plant built here in Georgia, I'm all for that. I should let you know that at 10:18 a.m., I'm going to give you a keyword in the 5K day bonus splits. Chance for you to win $1,000 here on 95.5 WSB. And 11:35, Deborah, you've got tickets to give away again to see
Alice Cooper and Judas Priest.
Do they always tour together? Or
No.
this is a new thing, right?
Just this one time.
Newish, a one-time deal. All right, so your only chance to see Alice Cooper and Judas Priest, you're going to get a chance to win those tickets. And to me, the best part of today's show, we're going to be joined by actor and comedian Jeff Garlin. I haven't spoken to Jeff in a long time, but he's coming back to Atlanta Thursday, Friday, and Saturday at the Helium Comedy Club up in Alpharetta. So I'm excited to talk to Jeff again. Most notably, Longoria and I know him most from Curb Your Enthusiasm, playing Larry David's agent in Curb Your. Such a great show. Looking forward to that. And obviously, we'll update our top local stories throughout the day here on 95.5 WSB. There's a story. We're going to go to New York City in a little bit and talk to Peter Haralambous. Jury selection in the Diddy trial. I was hesitant to cover and talk about the Diddy trial. It makes me feel gross. But I do have some questions, so we're going to talk to Peter about that in a second. But right now, let's go live to the nation's capital. Joining us is White House reporter Jennifer Jacobs. Jennifer, good morning. Thanks for your time.
Good morning. Great to be here, Mark.
This story came out of nowhere for me. President Trump, I guess, tried to spitball some ideas on the immigration problem, and he came up with an interesting solution yesterday. What can you tell us about it?
Yeah, the Department of Homeland Security had been working on this idea for a little bit of time. The president did bring it up yesterday in the Oval Office when we asked him about it. So what it is the administration is trying to come up with threats and incentives to stop illegal immigration. And yesterday, the latest idea is to offer free airline tickets and $1,000 if certain eligible immigrants choose to sign up for self-deportation and return to their home country voluntarily. So the basis here is Homeland Security officials say that to arrest and deport someone who is in the country illegally costs about $17,000 on average, and this plan to incentivize people to sign up and self-deport will cost the government about $4,500, Mark.
A plus for creativity. I did not expect to see that. What defines eligible deportee? Do we have any idea what that means?
Right. So they have to go on the government smartphone app known as CPB Home. They have to be able to sign up and do certain things. It's if you are a wanted criminal, if there are certain other aspects, you might not qualify for this. But the ones who are eligible are the ones who are in the country illegally. They're volunteering to leave on their own. The government is saying that they will receive their money after the government has confirmed that they're out of the country.
I'm assuming the immediate reaction for Democrats was to, a negative reaction from Democrats. But what about Republicans? How did they react to this proposal?
I think that Republicans did not express any criticism as far as I heard, but people are trying to figure out the broader meaning here. Is this a serious thing? Are people actually going to get paid? And even Republicans admit that ICE, the immigration officials, don't have the money or the staff to arrest, detain, and deport the millions of the people who are in the country without authorization. So Democrats, of course, are pointing out if you do nothing, no one might come and knock on your door. And others are saying this is a cheaper way to get people to move out in a quote unquote dignified manner.
I understand that aspect of it. I also I would imagine my initial thought was Republicans were going to push back, like we don't have the money to be giving illegals $1,000 a head. But you laid out the cost of what it is to detain, from the ICE perspective, detain and deport someone compared to the cost of here's a plane ticket and here's $1,000. Thanks for coming. We'll see you later. So it actually might make fiscal sense to do it this way.
Right. And there were some questions about, well, would these people just take some money and then cross the border again illegally? But the Trump administration has been saying that they have the border pretty much sealed. The president has been boasting about that it's the most secure border in years.
One more question for you, Jennifer. Is this again, this is all just, in the planning stages, this idea, but would it be $1,000 per person or $1,000 per family?
Per person, and the Department of Homeland Security says that at least one person has already signed up and has booked a flight out of Chicago and for the Honduras. So they're saying that people are already signing up to do so, and they will be getting their money. And
an added benefit might be it helps the airline industry, right? They've been cutting back flights, and international travel has been down. Very curious story. Very curious. Jennifer Jacobs, White House reporter for CBS. Jennifer, thanks for your time.
You're so welcome. Have a great day.
You as well. I don't know. All right, let's say hypothetically, Deborah, that Longoria is here illegally. All right, and it's a family of 5. He's got his 2 beautiful girls, his wife and his mother-in-law, all living at the Longoria compound. Let's say you're here illegally. I know you've been here for 7 generations. There's no,
right.
There's no question about it. Yeah. But if they're like $5,000 and 5 free one-way plane tickets to Mexico,
do you get to pick where in Mexico?
Yeah, I was going to say, where are they dropping you off in Mexico?
Cancun or Zihuatanejo.
Mexico City would probably be best.
I'm not poo-pooing this idea. I'm just trying to, if I were here illegally, like there's a lot of stress, right? You're here, and you could be here and quote, law-abiding, paying taxes, doing your job, keeping your nose clean for 20 years. And the fear, but you're here illegally, right? So you are in the crosshairs of ICE right now. Do you want the angst and the possible ICE breaking down your door and taking you and your kids out in handcuffs? Or do you say, all right, it's $5,000 and I don't know. Would people jump on that idea? It reminds me of the alleged plan that then Atlanta Mayor Bill Campbell had prior to the Olympics. I've never gotten confirmation from anyone about this plan, but it's widely accepted as true. In order to, quote, clean up the city, then Mayor Bill Campbell authorized free one-way, it might have been just bus tickets, but maybe plane tickets. They would find the urban outdoorsmen, the homeless folks in downtown, and buy them a one-way ticket out of town. Like, you want to go to San Diego? It's on us. Just get out of here before the Olympics come. I've never gotten confirmation that story was real, but it sounds realistic. I don't know. A+ for creativity. If the cost is $17,000 per deportee down to $4,000 per deportee, it's got to be even less than that. $1,000 in
for a person to start over?
No, I'm just saying the cost for the government, like $1,000 cash and a flight. I'm assuming it's not first class. You're not going to be, I don't know. It's interesting anyway. Interesting. All right. Good stuff there from Jennifer Jacobs. We'll go back to the White House in a little bit, talk to White House correspondent John Decker, previewing a big meeting today between President Trump and the newly elected Prime Minister of Canada. But first, let's check the ride around town. Back live to Atlanta's only 24-hour traffic center, Mike Shields.
And Mark, watch a crash move to the right shoulder in Midtown, 7585 southbound, right at 10th Street. We'll see if they block a right lane at times with that. Also watching delays quickly form on the West Freeway. Right lane roadwork set up 20 westbound at Fulton Industrial Boulevard, exit 49. Slow back to 285, also impacting 285 in both directions. This support is brought to you by Whole Foods Market. Save on quality treats and eats during their Mother's Day event at Whole Foods Market. Discover only the best for mom with deals on flowers, body care, desserts, and more through May 11th. I'm Mike Shields, 95.5 WSB.
I'm Chris Chandler. Wednesday, starting at 5 on Atlanta's Morning News, the Real ID deadline is finally here. What does that mean, and what if you haven't got yours? Plus, rain in the forecast on WSB.
The local folks at Breda Pest Management know my house inside and out, and they've customized a unique plan that stops bugs and critters. Hey friends, it's Mark Aram. With Breda, it's always a familiar local person servicing my home and answering my calls. Never an irritating automated call center. Breda cares more. They're our neighbors, and they'll work harder for you. Doing it better is what the Breda family does. Get started at BREDAPest.com.
Breda, no need to be afraid of bugs.
You should never need financing for a simple garage door repair, but it's happening here. Out-of-town companies have invaded Atlanta for a cash grab, charging outrageous prices. Hi, I'm Dan Watkins, owner of All Four Seasons Garage, Entry Doors, and Windows. Stay local and stay on budget for every opening of your home. All Four Seasons, trusted in Atlanta for over 25 years, exceptional customer service, and fair, honest pricing. When trust matters, trust us. All the number 4 seasonsgarages.com.
If you're ready for real European car lovers to work on your Porsche, Mercedes-Benz, BMW, Audi, discover Wolfpan European Auto Repair in Roswell. And for a limited time, get a free second opinion on repairs when you mention you heard about Wolfpan on the radio. Search Wolfpan Auto Repair to get started.
Getting engaged? At Shane Company, we'll help you find the perfect diamond. This is your engagement ring, aka only your life's most important piece of jewelry. No need to worry. As gemstone experts since 1929, we handpick only the most beautiful natural and lab-grown diamonds cut to our high standards in every price range. We have diamonds in all shapes and sizes, ready to compare side by side right here in our store. Come see for yourself at Shaneco.com or at your local store. No appointment necessary. Shane Company, your friend and jeweler.
If your basement is showing any problem signs, condensation, wet floors and walls, musty smells, mold, or rot, AquaGuard Foundation Solutions can help before it's too late. Visit aquaguard.net and sign up for a free inspection. Remember, AquaGuard.
Hope. It's more than a word. It's a breakthrough in the making. At City of Hope, we're pushing the boundaries of science, targeting cancer at the molecular level, with teams of experts working together to personalize a treatment plan right down to your DNA with unprecedented speed, making every second count, with appointments in as little as 24 hours. City of Hope, advancing cancer care at life-saving speed. Learn more at cityofhope.org.
Hi, it's Tim Andrews for My Roofer FGA Roofing. Are you considering a new roof but not sure when you'll be able to get it in the budget? FGA Roofing is offering a 000 offer this month. 0 down payment, 0 interest for 12 months, and 0 monthly payments. Search FGA Roofing for a free quote today.
Jason Hansen, former CIA officer here, with an urgent warning. The 2025 tariffs are a matter of national security, and retaliation can become an extreme national threat. Every American with a 401k, IRA, or retirement account should act now before it's too late. I urge everyone to protect and secure their hard-earned money with physical gold and silver before we see massive retaliations from China and an extreme market of volatility. I only trust Advantage Gold with my money. They're the #1 precious metals company in America, and they can help you secure your retirement with physical gold and silver. To get started, just call 800-324-9902 and request their free gold investment guide and learn how you can own physical gold and silver. Tax-free and penalty-free. But don't wait. This threat is real. Call 800-324-9902. Now again, that's 800-324-9902. Call right now and get your free gold investment guide today or visit AdvantageGold.com. Past performance may vary. Always consult with a tax and financial professional.
Your home deserves to shine inside and outside. That's why I trust Wise Guys Pro Wash to keep my home and deck and driveway looking their best. So just mention me, Chris Chandler, and get $70 off your next service. Don't wait. The appointment's booked quick. Go to wiseguysprowash.com.
I don't waste a lot of time worrying about who might run. I'm ready for any challenge, but my job is to represent the state, to continue working across the aisle in the Senate to serve the state.
Senator Jon Ossoff this morning on Atlanta's Morning News reacting to the big announcement yesterday. Governor Brian Kemp, I told you so, was not going to seek the Senate seat here in Georgia. His political future TBD. I wouldn't rule out an eventual run for the White House, though. Welcome back to the Mark Arum Show. Reaction to the President Kemp. I'm already getting ahead of myself. Reaction to Governor Kemp's announcement yesterday throughout the day here on 95.5 WSB. Just in time for Christmas, I don't know, Christmas in July. Tariff news concerning toys, Deborah. One of the world's biggest toy sellers, Mattel, says they're rising those prices. What can you tell us?
Yeah, tariffs are going to hit the toy market hard. You know, Barbie had like a killer year a couple years ago when they put that movie out. It was a resurgence in the doll. But now they're saying they're going to have to raise prices on Barbies, Hot Wheels, Fisher-Price toys, all the other toys that they carry just due to tariffs to sustain it. And they're going to have to increase those costs. But they're also trying to get away from doing stuff in China. But that's going to take a while before they can do any infrastructure here in the States or other countries.
Yeah, the doll story I didn't really care about. But you had me at Hot Wheels. Oh, man. Hot Wheels and Matchbox cars. My mom got me one of those when I was a kid, and I'd be set for 3 months. I wouldn't ask for a thing for 3. Oh, you got me a Hot Wheels? I love them. Longoria says the Mattel is going to start making Lego bricks or bricks to compete against Lego.
They just came out on May 1st with a whole bunch of Hot Wheels, different prices, like a $20, $60, $120. Each set comes with a Hot Wheel set that you can only get in that set.
But they're not Legos, right? Because
they're not Legos, but they're Lego
bricks.
They're called Mattel Brick Company now.
The world's foremost expert on Legos.
They're giving Lego a run for their money.
But you're a purist, though, right? Don't you? You wouldn't.
Yes, but some of those sets are pretty nice. They already sold out in all the stores.
Are the Legos tariffed because they're from Denmark?
Well, everything's tariffed.
Yeah, everything's tariffed. But they do have
less than China, though.
They do have places here in America.
All right, there you go. Keep us posted, Longoria. Let us know how the minfigs are impacted. I do want to update this because I'm fascinated by it. It is the Papal Conclave. 133 cardinals select a new pope, start the voting process tomorrow. They'll walk into the Sistine Chapel to take their oaths of secrecy before casting their first ballot. CBS News New York's Mary Calvi reports on some of the men who are considered to be papabile, that they possess the characteristics necessary to become pope. Papabile.
2 Americans have seen growing support. 72-year-old Cardinal Joseph Tobin of Newark, New Jersey, a gifted linguist who has served in senior Vatican positions. 69-year-old Cardinal Robert Prevost from Chicago, who heads the Vatican's department overseeing bishops, spent years working in Peru. When Pope Francis was elected, he was not considered one of the Papabile.
Papabile. Sorry for I butchered that before I read the pronunciation guide. I don't see a U.S. cardinal becoming elected pope. I just don't think it's going to happen right now. I'm betting on the pope from Asia. Singapore, Deborah, is that where the cardinals from? The Philippines. Yeah, I'm not placing real money on it, but if I were guessing, does this count as a political prediction? No, it's a papal prediction. So it doesn't count against my stellar political, but I'm going Philippines. I think that's, you want to throw a guess in, Deborah, or are you going to leave it up?
Well, that is who I've been looking at since they made, they said who's going to be next just because of the growth of the Catholic Church in the Philippines.
Papabile. All right, coming up next, the Prime Minister of Canada.
Our focus will be on both immediate trade pressures and the broader future economic and security
Talking about what he wants to see out of his meeting today from President Trump. We go and check in with White House correspondent John Decker after news, weather, and traffic. And then after that, at 10:18, I'm going to give you another keyword in the 5K a day bonus blitz, your chance to win $1,000. That's at 10:18 a.m. right here on The Mark Arum Show.
WSB Atlanta, WSB FM, and HD1 Doraville. 95.5 WSB, Atlanta's News and Talk.
Get rid of that musty, dusty smell in your home with help from the Zero Res Air Duct experts. Mention me, Chris Chandler, and get $50 off your next air duct cleaning. Just use promo code AIR50 when scheduling online at ZeroResAtlanta.com. Zero Res, it's the right way to clean.
You might think a window is just a window until you have to replace yours.
Yeah, we hear that all the time. But nope, all windows are not the same.
It's Jonathan and Ted from North Georgia Replacement Windows.
Upgrade now to beautiful Infinity from Marvin Fiberglass windows to improve energy efficiency, comfort, and curb appeal.
Experience the Infinity Fiberglass difference at your home or in our new Alpharetta showroom. Don't buy just any window.
Invest in your home.
Infinity from Marvin Replacement Windows, yeah!
Attention men, are you suffering from ED or PE? Here's an important message from Choice Men's Health.
I'm Dr. Katz and I'm the Chief Medical Director at Choice Men's Health. Are you performing the way you want to in the bedroom? If the answer is no and you've tried Viagra, Cialis, and Levitra and were disappointed, then you need to come see us immediately. If you don't see results on the first visit, then there's no charge. Many of our patients have medical conditions such as diabetes, hypertension, obesity, and prostate problems. I'm happy to say that we have 98% success rate with all our patients. Our customized solutions will allow you to perform within 10 minutes and last an hour and even longer. You can regain your love life and tackle your ED and PE problems. Guys, your partner will never complain again. Our clinic has the most affordable prices, so if you visit other clinics and you're not completely satisfied, then you need to call Choice Men's Health.
Regain your love life regardless of your age or medical history. Choice Men's Health guarantees results on your first visit or you pay nothing. Call now. 404-400-1170. That's 404-400-1170.
At Butler Lexus of South Atlanta, they just don't sell cars. They set the standard of amazing. Enjoy personalized service, a Starbucks cafe, and airport parking concierge, because you deserve more than just a car. Visit ButlerLexusSouthAtlanta.com or call 800-NEW-LEXUS today, because they value you.
News, weather,
traffic. 95.5 WSB, Atlanta's News and Talk.
At 10 o'clock, I'm Austin Eller. This news brought to you by TE Certified Electrical, Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. Our top local story, the Colt Gray status hearing in a Barrow County courtroom lasts under 5 minutes. And it turns out the defense team's not seeking a change of venue.
The teen accused in the Appalachia High School shooting appeared via video but did not speak during the hearing. His attorney telling Judge Nicholas Prim they may not be looking at trial at all.
As the court's aware, we're largely in agreement about the venue issue. We are here for the possible scheduling of a plea.
All parties in court agreeing to hold off on those proceedings to avoid unnecessary publicity with the September trial of Colt's father Colin Gray, who was charged with giving his son access to the gun used to kill 4 people and injure several others. Graham Carroll, 95.5 WSB.
It's 64 degrees right now in Midtown Atlanta. Partly cloudy today, mild across the metro. WSB meteorologist Christina Edwards has Atlanta's most accurate and dependable forecast coming up. Well, let's take a look at your money. Stocks open lower on Wall Street this morning, led by more weakness in technology companies. The S&P 500 falls again this morning after breaking a 9-day winning streak yesterday. The Dow Jones down 255 points. The Nasdaq down about 1%. The declines come on the first day of a 2-day meeting of Federal Reserve policymakers, where the central bank is expected to hold its benchmark interest rate steady. The Fed cut rates 3 times last year. Well, could Alpharetta be viable as the home of a new NHL franchise? The city's tourism arm is looking into exactly that.
The Alpharetta Convention and Visitors Bureau is set to decide whether to fund half a $150,000 study on whether the city can support an ice arena, which an NHL team could call home, and if the site could thrive even in the offseason. City Manager Chris Lagerbloom is confident the ACVB will vote yes.
I believe we've done the homework we need to do to make the recommendation to move forward with a study like this. I really think Alpharetta is a special place, and I think it's naturally situated to be the home to something just this big.
Lagerbloom says that study will let residents know if a new facility there is the right fit and let the NHL know too. Veronica Waters, 95.5 WSB.
Day 2 of jury selection in the sex trafficking case against Sean Diddy Combs gets underway today in New York City.
19 prospective jurors made it through the first day yesterday, but no one has been seated yet. Many of them said they had heard of the case and Diddy's freak-off sex parties or seen the hotel surveillance video of Combs pushing his girlfriend down and kicking her.
Michael Wallace reports Combs has been in the courtroom this week, showing gray hair and a thinner frame after 8 months in custody in Brooklyn. The judge hopes to begin opening statements Monday. Aetna says it will stop offering plans nationwide on the Affordable Care Act marketplace next year. That does include Georgia's state-based exchange, Georgia Access. That means the more than 107,000 Georgians on the marketplace who have Aetna will need to choose another carrier this fall. State Insurance Commissioner says there are many other options, so this shouldn't have a major impact on Georgians. President Trump meets today with Canadian Prime Minister Mark Carney for a discussion focused on the ongoing trade war.
President Trump told reporters that newly elected Canadian Prime Minister Mark Carney is coming to the White House because he wants to make a deal on trade. The U.S. and Canada have been locked in a tense fight over trade since the president imposed tariffs on many Canadian goods.
Karen Travers reports Carney's comeback election victory was seen as a response to U.S. trade policies. It is 10:03. The Mark Aram Show continues in less than 2 minutes. But first, live team coverage of traffic and weather. Ashley Frasca's live in the WSB 24-hour traffic center.
Hey there, Austin. We've got a few delays on the west side perimeter, 285 north and southbound, trying to make the transition onto I-20 west, headed out to Fulton Industrial Boulevard. Construction barrels are set up in that right lane as you approach Fulton Industrial. Still some brake lights downtown as well, 75-85 north up from University Avenue. Just spotted a crash on 400 north. It's just past Sidney Marcus, but they did make their way to the shoulder. And heads up, a crash still working in Forsyth County around the lake. Most of 369 Browns Bridge is closed with an overturned tractor trailer at Ann Harbor Drive. I'm Ashley Frasca, 95.5 WSB.
I'm WSB meteorologist Christina Edwards. Partly cloudy today, high 77, lows tonight in the upper 50s. Tomorrow, mostly cloudy with off and on rain showers, staying cool, high near 70. Thursday, scattered rain showers and thunderstorms, high 78.
Right now it is 63 degrees in Sandy Springs, 64 in College Park, and 64 degrees in Midtown Atlanta. More news at 10:30. Breaking news when it happens. I'm Austin Eller, 95.5 WSB.
Welcome back to the show and a good Tuesday morning to you. Mark Arum here, you there. It's 10:05, 5 minutes after 10 o'clock. This is the Mark Arum Show live Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to noon on 95.5 WSB. Whole family with us today. Deborah is the executive producer. Longoria, the stoic Eskimo on the other side of the takeout window. Vinny Drip screens your calls in just a couple minutes. Actually, just a couple seconds. We're going to go back to the White House, preview a big meeting with President Trump today. 10:18, though. That's the important number to remember, the time to remember. 10:18. I'm going to give you a keyword in the 5K day bonus blitz, another chance for you to win $1,000 right here on 95.5 WSB. I want to update, too, coming up on the program, the absolute nightmare situation going on at Newark Airport. It's getting worse and worse and worse. We'll talk to, we'll hear from Miles O'Brien. He's the aviation expert for CNN. He's been on the show a bunch about what exactly is going on and any advice to passengers. God forbid if you have a flight heading to Newark in the next couple of days, weeks, or even months, you might want to change those flights. So a lot of stuff still to talk about. But as mentioned, let's go back to the White House for the second time in as many segments. Joining us there, White House correspondent John Decker. John, good morning, buddy. Thanks for your time. Big meeting today. I'm not going to lie. I didn't see this coming. President Trump hosting the newly elected Prime Minister of Canada, Mark Carney. With all the rhetoric going back and forth, I didn't expect this meeting to happen so soon after his election. Who requested this meeting and what do we expect today?
Well, Prime Minister Carney sought this meeting. In fact, the president was asked about it just within the past few days, and he said, I don't know why this meeting's occurring. Well, the reason why the meeting's occurring is because Prime Minister Carney, he's the former central bank head in Canada. He's actually the former head of the Bank of England as well. He requested it because he's very much concerned about the president's tariffs policy and the impact that this may have on Canada. And so, as you know, the president has imposed tariffs on every one of our trading partners, including Canada, and Prime Minister Carney is concerned about that. After all, the amount of trade between the U.S. and Canada, it's enormous. Canada is America's largest trading partner.
Interesting. So then negotiations possibly on the table between the two world leaders?
Yeah, possibly. Look, I think any world leader that's been coming to the White House, that's the number one item on their agenda typically. Just recently, you saw the Prime Minister of Norway come to the U.S. There were a few items that were on the agenda, certainly tariffs, but also the war in Ukraine, NATO, the concern that Norway has about the security threat that it has on a daily basis from Russia. But as it relates to this particular meeting with Prime Minister Carney, the number one, the number two, the number three items on the agenda, all about tariffs because of the impact that it's having on the Canadian economy.
White House correspondent John Decker joining us on the Mark Arum Show. I would imagine that the Prime Minister might be bringing a thank you gift for President Trump for enabling him to be elected Prime Minister of Canada.
Yeah, to a certain extent, that's right. The president really did have an impact on this race. 1 year ago, the conservative candidate was cruising towards likely victory as it relates to the election that the Canadians just had. But the president's attacks on Canada really led to Canadians throwing their support around Mark Carney. And there was no change in terms of which party is leading Canada. It's the person who essentially replaced Prime Minister Justin Trudeau as leader of the Labour Party in Canada, who's now leading Canada. And Mr. Carney and President Trump, they do have a good relationship. The president has spoken highly of him since his election.
Does that mean that we won't see a redo of the Oval Office visit between President Trump and President Zelensky where Carney's visit is cut short and he does not get lunch?
No, I don't think it's going to be anything like that at all. The president has said publicly that he has a lot of respect for Mark Carney. I think that there will be a lot of niceties in the Oval Office a little bit later this morning. I'll be in the Oval Office, and hopefully there'll be an opportunity to ask some questions of both leaders during that very brief visit that we'll have in the Oval Office around 11:30 this morning.
That was my final question. What time is this going down? Okay, 11:30. All right. John Decker will be there for the meeting between the president and the Prime Minister of Canada. John, as always, appreciate your time. Good luck today, buddy.
Thanks a lot, Mark. Always appreciate it. Have a great day. Bye-bye.
All right, so 10:30. We might be able to dip into that, Deborah. We might be able to usually.
We actually get something.
Yeah, they sit down in front of the fireplace, take a couple of questions, and then they go back behind closed. So hopefully, if that happens, we'll jump in there. How cool is that? John Decker's like casually, yeah, I'll be in the Oval Office. I know it's a lot of work, but that's a cool gig, being a White House correspondent. The only thing cooler right now would be a Vatican correspondent. Right now, like the front row to history, unbelievable. All right, so good stuff there. I want to play some audio again. This is what President Trump had to say about his meeting this morning with the Prime Minister of Canada.
What's your expectation for your meeting with the Canadian Prime Minister tomorrow?
I don't know. He's coming to see me. I'm not sure what he wants to see me about, but I guess he wants to make a deal. Everybody does. They all want to make a deal because we have something that they all want. We have something that they all want.
So that was President Trump yesterday talking. He was, I don't know why he's here, but they want to make a deal. And again, this is the newly elected Prime Minister Carney of Canada.
Our focus will be on both immediate trade pressures and the broader future economic and security relationship between our two sovereign nations. My government will fight to get the best deal for Canada. We will take all the time necessary, but not more, in order to do so.
I wonder if President Trump's going to bring up that 51st state idea in this meeting. Be like, come on, Carney, let's do it. Just be the 51st state. Obviously, one of the biggest trade aspects between the United States and Canada is the automotive industry, right? We had GM saying that they're slashing profits expectations by $1.5 billion next quarter because of the tariffs. And now we're seeing Ford Motor Company do something, which I think is a long time coming. They're bringing back what I'm going to call a classic car, Deborah, but I might be alone on this island calling this car a classic.
I mean, technically it's a classic because I think it came out in the early 70s. But, you know, Ford stopped making cars just a couple years ago. They wanted to focus on trucks.
We'll get back to Deborah in a second. So the car they're bringing back is the Ford Fiesta. Now, the Ford Fiesta, you might not be familiar. It's a Matchbox car. It was a tiny thing. I learned how to drive stick shift on a Ford Fiesta. My friend Paul, his dad, had a Ford Fiesta, and I might be misremembering, but I think it might have only been a 3-speed, maybe a 4-speed, but it was a little Matchbox car of a car. And the only reason I learned and had to learn how to drive a stick is I was always the designated driver. I was not about to get in a car with someone that's been drinking. So I was forced to learn how to drive the Ford Fiesta stick so I could be the designated driver. And forever, that car has held a special place in my heart, is the little Ford Fiesta. So I'm excited they're bringing it back. And to me, it makes sense that they're bringing it back. Tariffs or not, the price of new cars has gone through the roof. We've had a bunch of automotive experts on the show saying there's only a handful of cars that you can get brand new for under $35,000. That's a year's salary for a lot of folks. $35,000, and there's only a handful of cars that you can get. Now, the beauty of the Ford Fiesta is it's a little tiny thing. It doesn't cost that much to make. Is it the safest car? Probably not. Is it the fastest car? Probably not. Is it the best car? Probably not. But it should be, the sticker price should be reasonable for Americans to buy a new car. So I like the fact that they're starting to bring back the smaller versions of vehicles. Not so, and I have nothing against SUVs or sedan. I drive a sedan. My wife drives an SUV. But getting more affordable American-made cars out to the public, I think, is a great thing. Do they still have smart cars? Longoria, do they still have smart cars?
I don't think so.
You remember Alan Hunt, the old engineer? Alan Hunt was an engineer here. He was a lumberjack of a dude. Like, you walk into a bar and you see Alan Hunt, you're like, I'm going to walk around this guy. He used to drive the tiniest car. I know. It was a smart car.
He was bigger than the car.
He was bigger than the car. But I asked him, I said, Alan, what the heck are you doing? He goes, well, I got to drive in, I forget, Bremen. He's like, I can't have a gas guzzler. So he had this little Matchbox
Yeah, he had like
car.
a Ram truck like me, and he was like, it's too much.
It's
I
too
can't
much.
drive it
So
in."
this huge dude, like picture a bouncer with a big grizzly beard. That was Alan. What a great dude. Hope you're doing well in retirement. You and Bunny Hunt was his wife's name. But he'd get out of this car. You'd see this little tiny car and this big dude pop out of it. But I liked it. Deborah's back. I like the Ford Fiesta, Deborah, because not only does it have a special place in my heart because I learned how to drive stick on a Ford Fiesta back in 1990, but it's maybe a more affordable car for Americans. It's not $35,000 plus. It's going to be a cheaper alternative.
And the new version will probably be electric too, so it'll be an affordable electric family car.
Yeah, all right. You might have lost me a little. I mean, I have nothing against electric cars. You know what my deal with electric cars is? I am ignorant about how to charge them. I know we have chargers here. Do they charge you to? Is it free to charge your car here?
I don't know. That's a Clark Howard question.
Rick says no. They charge you to do it. But like, can you just plug it in at home with a regular? I don't know. That's the problem. Someone has to educate me on electrical cars. I have nothing against them. I just am ignorant about them. Oh, I do want to update one story yesterday, Deborah. The President Trump story about the Pope meme. Right.
Oh,
That was a big story yesterday. Apparently, I don't have the audio now, but President Trump basically what happened was exactly what I happened. It wasn't President Trump that went to AI and said, "Hey, make me a meme of myself." ABC's Inés de la Huerta has an update on that papal meme from Rome.
In the U.S., President Trump is shrugging off criticism from American Cardinal Dolan and other Catholics after the White House posted an AI-generated image depicting Trump as Pope.
I had nothing to do with it. Somebody made up a picture of me dressed like the Pope, and they put it out on the internet.
Does it at all diminish the substance of the official White House account to have it go out on that particular channel?
Give me a break. It was just somebody did it in fun. It's fine.
So there you go. So President Trump, I didn't think he came up with it. Some social media intern sent it out, and President Trump thought it was funny. He thought it was fine. He said Melania thought it was cute. A lot of Catholics didn't find it funny or cute, but that's what I suspected. I didn't think it'd be President Trump that went to ChatGPT or whatever, Grok, and said, hey, draw me a picture of me as the Pope. I just didn't think that was realistic. I'll tell you what's realistic. Your chance to win $1,000 right now. It's the 5K Day Bonus Blitz, friends, and your 10 a.m. keyword is need. N-E-E-D, need. Not like kneading dough, but I need $1,000. Need, N-E-E-D. Enter that need into the WSB Radio app or at WSBRadio.com/cash. You have until 10:30 a.m. to enter the keyword, win $1,000. Again, the keyword is need, N-E-E-D. And don't forget, if you get a phone call after 10:30 from a number you don't recognize, pick it up, pick it up, pick it up. Could be us telling you want $1,000. The keyword is need, N-E-E-D. Good luck. And good luck out on those roadways. Let's check the drive around town with Ashley Frasca.
Thanks, Mark. Be careful transitioning onto that West Freeway off of 285 north and south. I-20 westbound construction crews are set up in the right lane out to Fulton Industrial Boulevard and really starting to jam up through Lawrenceville with two different slow zones because of construction. 316 eastbound at Riverside Parkway and 316 east at High Hope. Traffic brought to you by Macy's Backstage. What will you find at Macy's Backstage? Fun Mother's Day gifts. Get low prices every day on unique finds before they're gone. Find a location near you at macy'sbackstage.com. Off price, on trend, arriving daily. I'm Ashley Frasca, 95.5 WSB.
All the notifications you need.
The story developing in Marietta.
All the local and breaking news alerts you need.
We're following breaking news in Atlanta.
All in one place.
The 95.5 WSB app.
Download it today.
Let me tell you, folks, Breda has got the bugs beat at the Aram house. Hey, it's Mark Aram, and my local friends at Breda Pest Management know my house inside and out. They've customized a unique treatment plan that stops any bugs and critters. And let's face it, we live in Georgia. We have bugs. We have a lot of bugs. We have critters. We have a lot of critters. We don't want the bugs and critters inside our home. That's where Breda comes in. With Breda, always a familiar, local person servicing my home and answering my calls, never an irritating automated call center. And the folks that come to my house, they're friendly, they're nice, they do an amazing job, and they care. Breda cares more and will work harder for you. They're our neighbors, and they've invested in our community, and doing it better is what the Breda family does. Breda, they handle bugs and critters. Get started at BREDAPest.com.
Breda, no need to be afraid of bugs.
It's Jeff Jr. from Trajan Wealth, and I've got something important to talk to you about, your 401k. If you have changed jobs, there are two very important considerations. You don't want to leave your 401k behind, and you don't want to roll it over into your new company plan without consulting Trajan Wealth first. 401ks will often have limited investments or age-based options. Since companies have to make choices to suit all employees, they may not be suited to you, which could cost you fees and money. When you roll over your 401k into an IRA, you not only keep your money growing tax deferred, but you also gain access to a world of investment options specifically designed for you. Trajan Wealth and our fiduciary advisors have helped thousands, and we can do the same for you. Call 404-390-4000. That's 404-390-4000.
Advisory services offered through Trajan Wealth LLC, an SEC registered investment advisor.
At CertaPro Painters, we know that a happy place comes in many colors, like ones that inspire a sense of wonder, or a new flavor that makes life just a little bit sweeter, or one to celebrate those moments that lift you to new heights. With thousands of 5-star reviews, you can trust us to bring happiness home. CertaPro Painters. That's painting happy. Each CertaPro Painters business is independently owned and operated. Contractor license and registration information is available at CertaPro.com.
Motorcycle riders like you are a different breed. You don't just ride your bike, you're obsessed. So if someone causes you to lay your bike down, you need a different kind of attorney, one that understands bikers and their rights. Eric Von Hessler here for my friends at Steel Horse Law, the Stein and Karen Law Group, motorcycle injury lawyers who ride. You can trust them on the road and in the courtroom. Steel Horse Law can help you get back on your feet, medical bills paid, and your case resolved. Trust is everything, and results matter. Free case evaluation at steelhorselaw.com.
Hi, this is Candace from Exovations, and have I got a tip for you. But today, instead of giving you a home remodeling tip, my tip is don't just take my word for it. For over 20 years, you've heard me on the radio sharing remodeling advice. But if you really want to know what sets Exovations apart, go read our reviews. At exovations.com, you'll find hundreds of real stories from real homeowners who have trusted us with their exterior remodeling projects. From decks, siding, windows, doors, paint, roofing, porticos, and so much more. You'll see words like amazing work, incredible experience from start to finish, and again, stress-free. That's not just what we say, it's what our customers say. So yes, I'm Candace from Exovations, but don't just listen to me. Listen to our reviews. At Exovations, we do projects on time, on budget, and without all that stress. Google Exovations or visit EXOVATIONS.com.
Attention seniors, do you want more personalized healthcare with more one-on-one time with your doctor? Then join us at the grand opening of CenterWell Suwannee. CenterWell offers senior-focused primary care that's centered on you. Celebrate with us on Wednesday, May 14th, near the Walmart off Interstate 85 here in Suwannee from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. Enjoy food, music, and more at this free community event. Plus, tour the new doctor's office and meet the care team. For details, visit CometoCenterwellGeorgia.com. That's CometoCenterwellGeorgia.com.
You still want a new deck on your house, but you think you may have missed the deck building window? Well,
You're wrong. Dave Baker here. At Ben Hill Renovations, deck building goes on year-round. Whether your existing deck is old, rotting, and unsafe, or you just want to upgrade your outdoor living space, now is the perfect time to get the ball rolling. Check out their new website at bhrenovations.com. Better yet, go to their showroom, speak with the designer, and see all that they have to offer up close. Ben Hill Renovations, creating raving fans since 1964.
Così Dio mi aiuti e questi santi evangeli che tocco con la mia mano.
All right, so that is the support staff at the Vatican taking an oath of secrecy yesterday ahead of the papal conclave. Welcome back to the Mark Arum Show. I've got updated betting numbers on the next pope, by the way. I'll tell you that in just a second. But in order to bet on who's the next pope, you need some money. And if you missed it, the 5K Day Bonus Blitz keyword for the 10 o'clock hour is NEED, N-E-E-D, NEED. You have until 10:30 to enter NEED onto the WSB Radio app or WSBRadio.com/cash. And you get a chance to win $1,000 right here on the Mark Arum Show and WSB Radio. All right, Deborah, I just sent you updated numbers on the favorites for the next pope. I'm gonna. Did you see
I can't open it.
Okay, all right. So the favorite right now, according to the betting markets, is Cardinal Parolin.
Pietro Parolin. I think he's Italian.
Okay, he's got 26% of the betting market on his side. Coming in second is Tagle. 19%. And third place is Zuppi, like Zubidapes, at 10%. If you're looking for long shots, 2% is Ambongo. Is that the
Nigerian? I believe he's Nigerian.
Grek has 2. Sarah has 3. And then there's a bunch in the middle. Pizza Balla?
Pizza Balla.
Get out of here. There's Cardinal Pizza Baller?
I want that as my pope.
Now, if that was
Pizza
the Kentucky
Balla.
Derby, I'd be betting on Pizza Baller. That's amazing. Pizza Balla. What a great name. All right, 9% support. There's going to be a bump right now. Mark Arum Show listeners are going to go bet on Pizza Baller to be the next pope. I just thought that was interesting. Anyway, we'll update the papal stuff throughout Conclave. I'm just such a historic freak about this. I think it's amazing. All right, Vinny, history lesson. If I say to you, Vinny, the Hindenburg, do you know what I'm talking about? The Hindenburg?
I have no clue.
What do you think? What do you think the Hindenburg is?
Sound like Hindu, but it's Hindenburg.
Yeah, now you have
It's somebody's name.
All right, I'm going to play this audio from 88 years ago.
It's a terrific crash, ladies and gentlemen. The smoke and the flames now, and the flame is crashing to the ground, not quite to the mooring mast of the humanity.
Any idea what the Hindenburg is now, Vinny?
A fire?
Yeah, well, it was something that caught fire 88 years ago today. The Hindenburg burst into flames as it crashed and docked in Lakehurst, New Jersey, killing 36 of the 97 people on board. That was one of the most famous broadcasts ever. Herb Morrison on WLS in Chicago. Oh, the humanity. It was a balloon, a blimp, filled with hydrogen, which they learned was not a good thing. Not a good thing. All right, when we come back, actor, comedian Jeff Garlin joins us. Again, the keyword in the 5K Day Bonus Splits is NEED, N-E-E-D. You got 2 minutes to get that into the WSB Radio app or at WSBRadio.com/cash. Jeff Garlin, next on The Mark Arum Show.
Founded by hardworking Georgians in 1992, Builders provides tailored insurance solutions to safeguard workers and business owners from costly accidents. Explore reliable workers' compensation and general liability products at BLDRS.com. Builders, insurance built strong.
It only happens once a year. It's always fun. It's our signature Sign and Drive event. All you got to do is sign and drive with no money down and no payments for 90 days. Plus, at Beaver Toyota, you'll receive exclusive Beaver benefits with your new car. Benefits like no-charge oil changes and car washes. And yes, even complimentary loaner cars and a lifetime powertrain warranty. It's our annual Sign and Drive event. Now, this is the way car buying should be. Only at Beaver Toyota. We're here to wow you.
I'm here with Chris Hoffman, the founder of Hoffman Financial Group, to discuss one of the biggest blind spots that people face when saving for retirement. And it's a head-scratcher. Chris, how do so many people not know what they're invested in?
That's the biggest flaw that everybody runs into. They think they know what equities they have, they think they know what bonds they have, but they really don't know how those mutual funds or how those index funds are performing in conjunction with one another. So I would liken this to a big pot of soup, and we're just throwing all the ingredients in the refrigerator in this thing. It's not very good. It's just a mishmash of stuff. And sometimes you like the way it tastes. Sometimes you don't. And when you don't know why. You don't know if you got too much chicken in there or too much vegetables in there or what's going on. And I ask every caller that comes in for an initial consultation, do you know how your portfolio is broken down? And they say, well, I've got, 20 or so options in my 401k, and I just picked 2 of them or 3 of them. I thought I needed some international. I thought I needed some U.S. equities. I thought I needed some bonds. And they're just guessing. So you have to absolutely know what you're invested in, and that's where we will run the 401k portfolio x-ray for you, because that'll break it down. If you're not proficient at investing and don't understand this world, we will walk you through it. Not knowing what you're invested in is a big hindrance to growing and protecting your money. We will run a portfolio x-ray for you and educate you on exactly what's in your portfolio.
Set up a time to get your complimentary portfolio x-ray today. Call the Hoffman Financial Group at 404-737-3858. That's 404-737-3858, or book online at unleashyourmoney.com. Investment advisory services offered through Brookstone Wealth Advisors, a registered investment advisor. Insurance and annuities offered through Hoffman Financial Group Incorporated, Georgia Insurance License number 163546.
Live from the Superior Plumbing Studios.
News,
weather,
traffic.
95.5 WSB.
Atlanta's News and Talk.
At 10:30, I'm Austin Eller. This news brought to you by Metro Atlanta Amco dealers. Our top local story, a Barrow County judge hears from prosecutors and the defense for the teen accused in the Appalachian High School shooting last year that left 4 people dead. Colt Gray's lawyers did not make an anticipated request for a venue change, instead indicating that they may be working toward a plea.
As the court's aware, we're largely in agreement about the venue issue. We are here for the possible scheduling of a plea.
The defense is looking to October for a plea hearing. Judge Prim seeming to agree on that timeline, noting that it would keep the proceedings from adding to publicity surrounding the September trial of Colt's father, Colin Gray, who is also charged in that incident. A Columbia University student speaks out after he was recently detained by federal immigration agents. Mohsen Madawi says it happened in Vermont as he arrived for a citizenship interview.
Masked agents loaded with guns separated me, isolated me from my lawyer, did not allow for any conversation of let me see the order that you have or what's happening. And I said, I am a peaceful man.
He was in custody for about 2 weeks. The White House, meanwhile, saying his involvement in pro-Palestinian rallies on campus poses a risk to foreign policy. Governor Kemp says no to a Senate run in 2026, so now Georgia's senior senator wants to see who else might challenge him on the Republican side.
He says he doesn't waste a lot of time worrying about who might run, but Democrat Jon Ossoff tells Atlanta's Morning News he expects a crowded Republican field next year.
These primaries on the Republican side have largely become auditions for President Trump's backing.
Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene, Insurance Commissioner John King, and Secretary of State Brad Raffensperger are among the names emerging as possible contenders. Senator Ossoff says regardless of who runs, he's prepared for any challenger. Jennifer Perry, 95.5 WSB.
Israel's military says it's launched airstrikes against Iranian-backed Houthi rebels in Yemen, fully disabling the country's international airport. It also says several power plants have also been hit in that area. The strikes are the second time in 2 days that Israel attacked the rebels in Yemen in retaliation for a missile strike on Israel's airport. That happened on Sunday. Meanwhile, Russia closes several airports in or near Moscow following a large drone attack by Ukraine overnight. The attacks come ahead of Russia's Victory Day celebration that marks the defeat of Nazi Germany in 1945, and it does include a big parade in Moscow May 9th. Russia's proposed a 3-day ceasefire around that event, but Ukrainian President Vladimir Zelensky, who's pushing for a 30-day ceasefire, has rejected that idea. Final preparations are being made before the conclave to pick a new pope begins at the Vatican.
The clock is ticking down to the papal conclave as workers finish the final preparations here in Vatican City. The cardinals made their way across St. Peter's Square and through scrums of reporters to their final general meeting before they gather tomorrow in the Sistine Chapel to choose a successor to Pope Francis.
Terry Moran reports the 133 voting cardinals have to comply with a series of restrictions there that does include complying with cell phone phone jamming devices. It is 10:33. We've got live team coverage now of traffic and weather. Ashley Frasca is live in the WSB 24-hour traffic center.
Still riding the brake pedal in spots along 85 South, rolling out of Duluth, trying to get past Pleasantdale onto I-285, and 2 slow zones on 316 eastbound, all due to construction. 316 eastbound, they're working at Riverside Parkway, and then 316 east at High Hope. And now picking up new trouble into Holly Springs. It looks like a crash could be on the left shoulder and part of the left lane. 575 South, right at exit 14, Marietta Highway. I'm Ashley Frasca, 95.5 WSB.
This is WSB meteorologist Christina Upwards. A mix of sun and clouds today, high 77, lows tonight in the upper 50s. Tomorrow, mostly cloudy with hit-or-miss rain showers, high near 70. Thursday, mostly cloudy with scattered showers and thunderstorms, high 78.
Right now it's 65 degrees in Decatur, 66 in Vinings, and also 66 degrees in Midtown. More news at 11 o'clock. Breaking news when it happens. I'm Austin Eller, 95.5 WSB.
Eric Erickson.
I try even when I don't agree.
The opinions expressed are his.
To at least exercise some basic empathy.
And that's what makes you listen.
Coming in like a wrecking ball, taking it all out. It's fantastic.
Eric Erickson.
Today, starting at noon.
95.5 WSB, Atlanta's News and Talk.
Regardless of who runs, I'm prepared for any challenger. And
Senator
my
John
daily
Ossoff
work
this morning on Atlanta's Morning News reacting to the announcement from Governor Kemp yesterday. What does Eric Erickson think? He joins us live next on the Mark Arum Show.
That's your garage door. Almost broken, but technically not broken yet. And you know the old saying, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, right? So you don't fix it, 'cause it ain't broke. And it gets worse. Until one day, 2 a.m., raining alligators, carload full of dry cleaning, you push the button, and out of nowhere, guess what's broke? Your garage door. At Mo Better Garage, we make that way mo better. A garage door that's almost broken can actually do more damage than one that's fully broke. Jammed up parts put an extra strain on the motor, rollers out of whack stress the tracks and the belts. Fix it early while it's still a simple repair and before your car gets locked out or locked in. How do I know? Because I'm Mo. Call Mo Better Garage and we'll come over and make it right. Because if it's almost broke, you fix it.
Mo Better Garage, we make it way more better.
MoBetterGarage.com.
It's Jeff Jr. from Trajan Wealth, and I've got something important to talk to you about, your 401k. If you have changed jobs, there are 2 very important considerations. You don't want to leave your 401k behind, and you don't want to roll it over into your new company plan without consulting Trajan Wealth first. 401ks will often have limited investments or age-based options. Since companies have to make choices to suit all employees, they may not be suited to you, which could cost you fees and money. When you roll over your 401k into an IRA, you not only keep your money growing tax deferred, but you also gain access to a world of investment options specifically designed for you. Trajan Wealth and our fiduciary advisors have helped thousands, and we can do the same for you. Call 404-390-4000. That's 404-390-4000.
Advisory services offered through Trajan Wealth LLC, an SEC-registered investment advisor.
Scott Slade here from iRoofer, FGA Roofing. Are you considering a new roof but not sure when you're going to be able to get it into the budget? FGA Roofing is offering a 000 offer this month. 0 down payment, 0 interest for 12 months, and 0 monthly payments. Search FGA Roofing for a free quote today.
10:37 on this fast-moving Newsday Tuesday. Welcome back, friends. Mark Arum and crew with you till noon. Coming up just a couple of minutes, we're going to talk to actor-comedian Jeff Garlin. Reminder, I'm going to give you another chance to win $1,000 in the 5K day bonus splits. Your next keyword right after the noon news, right before the Eric Erickson Show here on WSB. Speaking of Eric Erickson, jumping on and joining us live on this breaking news that popped yesterday, Governor Kemp says he will not run for Senate. Eric, thanks for giving us some time on a Tuesday, buddy.
Happy to do it.
All right, your initial reaction. Governor Kemp says, I am not going to seek that Senate seat in 2026. What do you think of the announcement?
You know, I'm kind of not surprised. For the last couple of months, I've been expecting it. I'm actually here in Sea Island at his off-the-record event that he does for donors every year. He didn't make the announcement here. He was in Columbia County, issued it by Twitter, surprised everybody here in the crowd. A lot of people were hoping he would do it. I actually talked to him about 10 minutes ago, and he said he can get so much done as governor still. He's still got time. He doesn't want to be focused on another campaign. And
honestly, he said every governor he's talked to who's in the Senate doesn't particularly like being in the Senate, and I hear that too.
Obviously, the political ramifications are massive. Let's start on the Republican side. Who's going to scramble into the race now that the king on the chessboard, if you will, has been taken out?
Lots of murmuring about that. So I interviewed Burt Jones and Chris Carr, both of whom were gubernatorial picks, to see if either one was interested in moving to the Senate. Neither one is. There's buzz about Rich McCormick in the 6th Congressional District, Marjorie Taylor Greene as well, John King, the insurance commissioner. Those are the three big names being floated right now. You might get some other statewide people. Interestingly enough, I'm told that the White House is kind of encouraging Marjorie Taylor Greene to stay out of the race.
Interesting. We heard from John Ossoff, Georgia Senator, this morning on Atlanta's Morning News.
I don't waste a lot of time worrying about who might run. I'm ready for any challenge, but my job is to represent the state, to continue working across the aisle in the Senate to serve the state.
I would imagine they were popping champagne bottles yesterday in the Ossoff office.
Oh, they absolutely had to be. The Democratic Senatorial Committee quite happy yesterday to find out about this. It's one less major name. Ossoff's still going to have a fight, and you kind of get that, honestly, and this is no disrespect intended to him, but just from that statement, he's rather much an introvert. He sounds somewhat robotic on the stage, and so you find a charismatic Republican to run against him. He's got to up his game a little more than he would. But you find another Herschel Walker. I mean, this is the Republican fear on Marjorie Taylor Greene, that someone like that would make it easy for him.
Candidates do matter. Final question for you, Eric. And again, patting myself on the back. I had no inside knowledge, but I said I don't think Governor Kemp's going to run for Senate. I think he wants to keep his political powder dry for a possible future presidential race. In the meantime, seeing rumors that he might head to Athens to work at the University of Georgia. What are you hearing?
You know, he chuckled about that. I asked about that. He said he's focused on being governor, but also I actually think he wants to go out into the private sector and make some real money after he leaves the governor's race. Being tied in another state job, not really in his future, I don't think, unless it's maybe 2028. But even that, I'm not sure.
All right, Eric's at this private event at Sea Island. I'm going to be on the public beach at Tybee Island. But are you doing your show this weekend or today rather?
Yeah. So I'll be doing the show. So I was asked to come down here and moderate these discussions with the future gubernatorial candidates. Governor Kemp obviously didn't want to do them himself with Burt Jones and Chris Carr. He had a sit down interview yesterday as well on national security. So it's been a good event. The donors all kind of disappointed Kemp's not running for the Senate, but at the same time, there actually is some hope that maybe he could provide an alternative in 28. I don't know that he's going to do that, but I'm kind of in the camp that thinks he probably will.
Yeah, 28 or 32. I mean, he's a young man with a bright future. All right, Eric, thanks for jumping on with the breaking news, buddy.
You're welcome.
All right, Eric Erickson, again, you can hear him live noon to 3 from Sea Island, Georgia, at the donors event there on WSB Radio. I should mention Marjorie Taylor Greene was on with our Shelley Winter last night. Shelley's going to join us live after the news at 11 and tell us what his reaction to what Marjorie Taylor Greene had to tell him yesterday. But now, joining us, legendary actor and comedian, longtime friend of the show, Jeff Garlin. Jeff, good morning. How are you, my friend?
I am a big bowl of wonderful.
As always. Like, who has a better life than Jeff Garlin?
Many people. You don't have to be famous to have a better life than me, but I enjoy my life very much.
Indeed, and we enjoy everything that is related to Jeff Garlin. I should lead off that Jeff's going to be in town. Helium Comedy Club in Alpharetta, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Tickets available online. Your triumphant return to our fair city.
Yeah, it's been a while since I've been there. I have numerous very close friends there, and I'm looking forward. Also, my son's girlfriend, her family lives there, so a lot going on in Atlanta. And there's always the varsity if I were to ever start drinking.
There you go. Hey, all right, so is there pressure knowing that your future in-laws could be in the audience at Helium Comedy Club?
No, I don't care.
Really?
You know, yes, I'll be very kind to them whenever I meet them.
Okay.
I haven't met them in person, but no, I don't care. I'm going to go up and be funny. I can't worry about about what they think. You know, I'm nice to pretty much everybody. I say pretty much. If you punch me in the face, I'm not going to be nice to you. But that hasn't happened. But, you know, when I'm on stage, my only job is to, in the big picture, ease the audience's pain. Whatever's bothering you, you know, hopefully you forget it while I'm making you laugh. That's what I hope.
Jeff Garland on the Mark Aram Show in town, Alpharetta Helium Comedy Club this Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. I've seen you every time you've come to Atlanta, and I haven't seen you because you haven't been to Atlanta in a while, but you have a different type of stand-up, right? You kind of freeball it a lot of the time.
Well, it's called improvising, just like Curb Your Enthusiasm. Yeah, you know, I may have 3 or 4 loose ideas or bits that I want to do, and the rest of it I just make up. And it's worked for me quite well I've been doing it since I'm 20, 42 years, which is still a hell of a long time.
Was that, obviously that improv background, you know, certainly helped you get Curb Your Enthusiasm, the legendary show. A lot of folks might not know that it started just as a standalone mockumentary, right?
Yeah, it was, you know, I had this idea. I had been on the road helping Dennis Leary and Jon Stewart separately with their HBO specials. And so Larry and I were talking one day at lunch, and he was asking me about stand-up, and I said, I've always had this idea of the making of a stand-up special being the special, and then at the end of the special, you don't even have to do the special. And he said, I love that. And the next morning he called me, he said, let's go pitch it. And we pitched it to HBO, and I remember Chris Albrecht said, and I've never heard this in the room before or since, how can we not do this?
Wow.
I made the correct choice of telling a genius because Larry David took my idea, which probably would have gone nowhere, and made it into something historic. And yeah, my time at Second City has a lot to do with that's a improv theater in Chicago, which also has a lot to do with my stand. It's all interwoven.
That's a different skill set, improv. It really is. It's a different muscle that you have to use, and you use it so well. So I've been on the record. Curb Your Enthusiasm, my favorite comedy of all time, legendary. Bittersweet when it ended.
Yeah, that would be the exact word. It's funny. Everyone else is like when they say to me, "Oh, bring it back. Is it doing more?" But I love the fact you said bittersweet because that's what it is. It was. We felt we wanted to end strongly, on top, if you will, and so because shows stay around for way too long or they start getting bad, and we thought, you know, Larry had this great idea for how to end it. And then it's bitter because, you know, they're my close friends. I laughed all day, every day on the set, and it was fun working. Not a lot of people working in Hollywood right now. So it was fun having a job. You know, there's a lot that I miss, but I also knew that it was definitely time. No one working on the show said that we shouldn't stop. We had to stop. But, you know, we really loved each other and loved the time we had.
And the audience loved it and will forever love it. The final season, no spoilers if you haven't seen it, folks, but it's set in Atlanta. Did you actually film anything here in Atlanta, or is that all in Hollywood?
No, it was all on location around Southern California. There are areas that definitely pass for Atlanta.
It was
Except the dirt's a different color. You
know? We don't have that Georgia red clay anywhere else. I thought it was the French kiss, perfect way to end such a legendary show. And I rarely promote podcasts on my radio show, but the history of Curb Your Enthusiasm with you and Susie is such an entertaining listen. I love that you guys have done that and have allowed rabid fans like me to continue our love of the show.
Well, I appreciate that, man.
Couple of quick Curb questions before we get back to the stand-up gig. Your favorite episode? I'm sure you've been asked that a million times, but what's your favorite episode?
My favorite episode is a strange episode to pick. It's called Wandering Bear. It's where Cheryl
I remember.
is having problems, and Larry gets his Indian gardener he has a special recipe to fix it, and then Larry and I are watching Girls Gone Wild. We're obsessed, and while the door's open and my dog runs away, we got to search for the dog. The reason, well, first off, I love it, you know, but I also love that it's self-contained. It had nothing to do with the story of that season.
It was fun. I forgot about that episode.
And I had lots of moments that I loved, you know, like when Susie found the panties in my car and I asked Larry to pretend that they were his panties. you're Larry David, and you happen to enjoy wearing women's
Yeah, well,
pants.
don't judge. He likes the. My favorite episode, by the way, is the HOV lane where Larry picks up.
Where he picks up the hooker.
The traffic's so bad in
that was
Atlanta
fun.
that in Atlanta I was like, that's a brilliant idea. Like, I got to get to the Braves game. Let me pick up a worker. Final Curb question for you. The episode where you're confused for what's his name?
Weinstein.
Harvey Weinstein. Did that come out of reality? Have you ever been mistaken for Harvey Weinstein?
No.
Okay, good.
No, because I really don't look like him, but I resemble him. But the other producers, one of which is Larry, the other one Jeff Schaefer, they came up to me and they said, we've been sort of thinking about this idea. And they said, would you do it? And I said, absolutely. Big mistake.
Oh,
How do I
really?
do it again? Well, reason being is it's very funny on the show.
Yeah.
But even to this day, people will walk up to me and go, hey, Harvey, don't call me Harvey.
No, definitely not. So I've had the pleasure to meet you a couple times. Real quick, my meeting Larry David story. Years ago, I was at this fancy restaurant in Buckhead, and we're sitting high on this booth, and I look at the other end of the dining room in like this private corner, and I was like, oh my God, that's Larry David. And people kept coming up to his table, and I pulled our waiter over. He was a Russian guy, and I was like, hey, is that Larry David in the corner? And he's like, I don't know Larry David, but he's very popular. Everyone wants to go say hi to him. So I'm like, all right, I want to buy Larry's dinner. It's like, bring me the check. And, I'm in radio. I don't make Hollywood money. And I'm like sweating it out that Larry could order a $10,000 bottle of wine. But luckily,
that's not going to happen.
no, exactly.
Go ahead.
Luckily didn't. So I take care of the tab, and Larry comes up to thank me. And he's walking closer and closer. And he gets to 5 feet from the table, and it's not Larry David. And he's like, hey, thank you so much for buying my meal. What's it turns out he was like a famous gynecologist here in Atlanta. I'm a fan of your work, Dr. Schwartz. Thank you so much. My pleasure for buying the meal. Anyway, all right, that's it. Jeff, he's in town Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Helium Comedy Club in Alpharetta. And make sure you check out the podcast as well, The History of Curb Your Enthusiasm. Jeff, great to talk. We'll see you this weekend, my friend.
It's been a delight. Thank you.
See you, brother. 10:50 on the Mark Aram Show. Let's check the ride around town. Live to the traffic center and Ashley Frasca.
Getting slower through those work zones. Cruiser in the right lane, and the barrels are on I-20 westbound before Fulton Industrial Boulevard. That's jamming you up along 285 north and south there in the area. And we've also got new construction set up slowing the ride through Holly Springs. You'll find that on 575 south at Marietta Highway, exit 14, and 2 spots of construction in Lawrenceville along 316 eastbound. They're set up at Riverside Parkway and over at High Hope. I'm Ashley Frasca, 95.5 WSB.
On air,
Online,
on the app,
where you get your news,
is where you'll win.
Download the WSB radio app now and maybe win $1,000.
That is awesome.
The WSB 5K a day bonus blitz.
5 words, 5 times a day, every weekday.
This is Jill from Roswell, and I just won $1,000.
Just enter the word at WSBradio.com or on the WSB radio app.
Your next chance to win is coming up at 12.
The WSB 5K a day bonus blitz
on 95.5 WSB.
I know we just started spring, but already Maya and I have turned on the AC in our house a couple of times. Hey, it's Mark Aram back from my pals at Reliable Heating and Air. We are going to use our AC a lot this summer. I'm sure you will as well. Great new deal from my friends at Reliable. Check this out, folks. Get any size air conditioning, any size AC, just $69.99 a month. 0 down payment, low monthly payments, unbeatable lifetime warranty, and next day installation guaranteed, or they pay you $500. Yes, any size AC, just $69.99 a month, 0 down, low monthly payments. Don't go into another sweltering summer with your old AC unit. Get a new one from my friends at Reliable. Book an appointment for a convenient time right on their website at reliableair.com and click on the Schedule Service button, or call or text 770-594-9969, 770-594-9969.
Passion. It's the difference between getting it done and being exceptional. For your home's exterior renovation, hire a company passionate about your project. Trust the Plus. Painting Plus.
Hi, I'm Charlie. My passion for high-quality remodeling began when I started my business at just 15. Now we have grown to the Plus family of businesses. If you hear the Plus, it's us.
If your home's exterior has it, the Plus can improve it. Painting Plus. Siding, gutters, windows, decks, porches, roofing, and more. Trust the Plus. PaintingPlus.com.
Hi, it's Tim Andrews for My Roofer FGA Roofing. Are you considering a new roof but not sure when you'll be able to get it in the budget? FGA Roofing is offering a 000 offer this month. 0 down payment, 0 interest for 12 months, and 0 monthly payments. Search FGA Roofing for a free quote today.
Attention men, are you suffering from ED or PE? Here's an important message from Choice Men's Health.
I'm Dr. Katz and I'm the Chief Medical Director at Choice Men's Health. Are you performing the way you want to in the bedroom? If the answer is no and you've tried Viagra, Cialis, and Levitra and were disappointed, then you need to come see us immediately. If you don't see results on the first visit, then there's no charge. Many of our patients have medical conditions such as diabetes, hypertension, obesity, and prostate problems. I'm happy to say that we have 98% success rate with all our patients. Our customized solutions will allow you to perform within 10 minutes and last an hour and even longer. You can regain your love life and tackle your ED and PE problems. Guys, your partner will never complain again. Our clinic has the most affordable prices, so if you visit other clinics and you're not completely satisfied, then you need to call Choice Men's Health.
Regain your love life regardless of your age or medical history. Choice Men's Health guarantees results on your first visit or you pay nothing. Call now, 404-400-1170. That's 404-400-1170.
For over 8 years now, QC Kinetics has been the nation's leader in non-surgical relief for joint pain with over 50,000 satisfied patients. People with knee and back pain now living pain-free, shoulder and hip pain gone. Hey, it's Mark here. What they're doing is nothing short of remarkable. They're using regenerative cell therapy to restore the tissues in your achy joints. They're using biologic growth factors with robust healing properties carefully and strategically placed in your joint. It's a powerful and potent way to give your joints new life, repairing that old tissue. Best part, with QC Kinetics, no drugs, no surgery, and there's no downtime. This is an all-natural, cellular level option with lasting relief. The patient satisfaction reports are astonishing. Call QC Kinetics now and learn about these cutting-edge treatments that can help you live your best life, truly your best pain-free life. Call 770-285-8026, 770-285-8026. That's 770-285-8026.
Beaver Direct certified, providing the highest quality vehicles at the very best prices. Every vehicle undergoes rigorous reconditioning with an industry-leading 12-month, 12,000-mile certified warranty. Visit us at BeaverToyotaCumming.com and see why everyone loves Beaver Direct.
Seems everything costs more these days. Gas, groceries, and when's the last time you checked your wireless bill? When it comes to Big Wireless, if you're staying, you may be overpaying. Switch to Consumer Cellular and get your second month free for a limited time. You'll get the same fast, reliable nationwide coverage without the big wireless bill. Plans start at just $20 a month. Here's Veronica and Jackie, real customers.
I didn't know that I could get something for a lot less money that was actually better than who I was with before.
Anytime anybody complains about their cell phone bill, we say, you've got to check out Consumer Cellular.
And now for a limited time, new customers can get their second month free when they use promo code SECONDFREE. Just call, click, or bring us your bill and see how much you can save. Because when it comes to Big Wireless, if you're staying, you may be overpaying. Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit a store near you, or consumercellular.com and use code SECONDFREE to get a free second month. Real people paid to share their opinions in this ad. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. Taxes, fees, and other third-party charges will apply. See website for additional details.
Our flight keeps getting pushed back for a fourth time now, and it's over 5 hours delayed now.
That's Stefano Lucchetti, a traveler from California up at Newark Airport. It is a mess in Newark. Mike McKee from Bloomberg is going to join us next half hour and explain why Newark Airport is more unreasonably awful than normal. Shelley Winter is going to join us after the news. By the way, I didn't ask. Everyone survive Cinco de Mayo? Deborah, you had a good Cinco de Mayo? Everything was fine?
Yeah, I ate the food I would normally eat, so it was fine.
I saw your post. Like you culturally appropriated your own culture.
Yes.
I did not take advantage of any of the deals. Taco Bell. Well, because Botica again just provided with such amazing stuff yesterday. So I drove by our local Mexican joint, Monterrey on Mexico, so packed that they were using the bank parking lot across the street. There were like 100 people outside. It was insane. Insane. But I hope you have a good Cinco de Mayo, Longoria.
Yeah, we didn't do anything. Yeah.
Just microwave some frozen enchiladas.
I think we ate mashed potatoes and something else. So nothing.
Have you,
food at all.
if you get a chance, have the holy tacos at Nuevo Laredo.
How are they holy?
I don't know. They're mashed potato tacos, though. They're really, really
Okay.
good. Really, really good. All right, anyway, I hope you had a great Cinco de Mayo. All right, news, weather, and traffic. When we come back, more on the breaking news from Governor Kemp. Shelley Winter had Marjorie Taylor Greene on his show yesterday. Is she going to run for Senate? Shelley joins us live next on The Mark Arum Show.
WSB Atlanta, WSB BFM, and HD1 Doraville. 95.5 WSB, Atlanta's News and Talk.
Storm season officially here, friends, and it wreaks havoc on your house and your roof. It's Mark Arum here. If you truly want peace of mind about your roof, and for many years to come, ask Dr. Roof about their lifetime warranty. Dr. Roof's warranty means they have your roof covered for the lifetime of your roof, and if anything comes up, Dr. Roof will take care of it. You never have to worry about a thing. They stand behind it since they've been in business for over 35 years. Now that is peace of mind. All the info online at drroof.com.
Customers often ask, what's the right mattress for me? At the Original Mattress Factory, our answer is always the same. It's all about personal preference. You should select the one that feels right to you because there isn't a one-mattress-fits-all solution. That's why we offer a selection of quality and comfort choices for every preference. And our sales team will help you find the right product for your specific needs. At the Original Mattress Factory, we have the right mattress for just about everyone. Stop by to find yours today.
Hey, folks, it's Shelley Winter here. You know, sometimes they make fun of me around the office because I doze off at my desk while doing show prep. Well, you know why that happened? It's because of a lack of sleep. I have sleep apnea. So if you snore or have sleep apnea also, you're not living life to the fullest. So listen up. I know you're tired, but in all seriousness, this is important. My friends over at Palmetto Sleep are changing lives with a custom-fit oral appliance that stops your snoring and treats sleep apnea. I'm not talking about something you buy out of a supermarket. This is a custom-made for your mouth and covered by your private medical insurance. What I love most is that they do everything from the diagnosis to the delivery of the oral appliance and everything in between. They even provide a take-home sleep study and virtual consults. If you're ready for a great night's sleep, you're ready for Palmetto Sleep. Go to palmettosleep.com. That's palmettosleep.com right now. Don't suffer from another sleepless night. palmettosleep.com.
News, weather,
traffic.
95.5 WSB, Atlanta's News and Talk.
It's 11 o'clock. I'm Austin Eller. This news brought to you by the Next Generation Xfinity 10G network. Our top local story, today's status hearing reveals a plea deal may be in the works for the accused Appalachia High School shooter.
Colt Gray faces 55 charges in the attack that killed 4 and injured several others. His attorney indicating they would not seek to change venues and are instead considering a possible plea deal. Judge Nicholas Prim supporting the defense request for some additional time.
I think the October timing works well because Colin Gray's trial is scheduled in September in order to avoid any publicity tainting that trial.
Colt's father Colin charged separately. He is believed to have provided his son access to the weapon used in the shootings. Graham Carroll, 95.5 WSB.
It's 67 degrees right now in Midtown Atlanta. Partly cloudy today, but mild across the metro. WSB meteorologist Christina Edwards has Atlanta's most accurate and dependable forecast coming up. The city of Alpharetta could take next steps today on determining whether the city's viable for a new NHL franchise.
Alpharetta's Convention and Visitors Bureau will vote on funding half of a $150,000 study to assess the feasibility of a new ice arena redevelopment in the North Point Mall area, which could be home to a pro hockey team. City Manager Chris Lagerbloom tells me they've done the homework so the Bureau can confidently say yes to the study.
It will look at what is the ease and ability to get to a location, where the fans are likely to come from. But most importantly, to look at what you can do with a space like that on the days that it's not used for professional sports, because that's but a small part of the year.
Lagerbloom says the study would take about 5 months. Veronica Waters, 95.5 WSB.
19 prospective jurors make it through the first day of jury selection in the sex trafficking trial against Sean Diddy Combs. So far, though, no one's been seated.
The music mogul was in the courtroom yesterday, his hair gray and his frame thinner after 8 months in federal custody. The judge hopes to begin opening statements Monday.
Michael Wallace reports many of the prospective jurors said they have heard of the case and Diddy's so-called freak-off parties. There's groundbreaking new research on the shingles vaccine. A South Korean study finds the vaccine can lower the risk of heart disease.
Found that people who got the older shingles vaccine, what we call Zostavax, it's a live virus vaccine, an older technology. In that population, we saw a 23% reduction in their risk of cardiovascular events.
Dr. Celine Gounder says that older vaccine was used in the U.S. until 2018. A Georgia-based company finds big gains for young home buyers.
Intercontinental Exchange released its monthly mortgage monitor report and says numbers on first-time and Gen Z home buyers are up in the mortgage market. First-time home buyers actually accounted for a record share, 58% of agency purchase lending in the first quarter, as higher interest rates brought down repeat buyer activity. And Gen Z made substantial gains in lower-cost states, including Indiana, South Dakota, and Kentucky. Experts say affordability is still an issue for buyers across the board. I'm Bloomberg's Monica Ricks for 95.5 WSB.
A new survey finds more Georgians are taking a trip this summer.
AAA says we're still prioritizing vacations as an essential part of life despite economic uncertainties. The Auto Club Group's latest poll shows 58% of Georgians are planning summer trips. That's up 1% over last year. 39% of Georgians plan to take more vacations over the summer season. 22% will take fewer trips. The top destination for us, beaches. June and July are set to be the peak months for summer vacations among Georgians. Cheryl Castro, 95.5 WSB.
It's 11:03. The Mark Aram Show continues in less than 2 minutes. But first, live team coverage of traffic and weather. Alex Williams is in the WSB 24-hour traffic center.
Hey, good morning, Austin. And some better news for our commuters on the West Freeway. DOT says they're starting to pick up that right lane construction. I-20 westbound between 285 and Fulton Industrial Boulevard. That's what puts the extra pressure on I-20 westbound as well as 285 in both directions. Trying to ramp onto that West Freeway. On the south side, checking on new trouble on the 285 east ramp to 75 south there in Clayton County. Slowing the ride as you pass the airport. And the two construction zones in Gwinnett County still causing delays. 316 eastbound at Riverside Parkway. That construction is in the right lane. Then once you get farther out toward Lawrenceville and Decula, you got it in the left lane at High Hope Road. Alex Williams, 95.5 WSB.
I'm WSB meteorologist Christina Upwards. Partly cloudy today, high 77, lows tonight in the upper 50s. Tomorrow, mostly cloudy with off and on rain showers, staying cool, high near 70. Thursday, scattered rain showers and thunderstorms, high 78.
Right now it's 67 degrees in Stockbridge, 67 in Alpharetta, and 67 in Midtown. More news at 11:30. Breaking news when it happens. I'm Austin Eller, 95.5 WSB.
I'll run this town to be near you.
11:05 in the Mark Aram Show. Going to get back to the nuts and bolts in just a second. Deborah, I hate to do this, give you in-show homework, but can you pull some audio for me?
I can try.
Austin Eller just used the phrase freak-off party.
Okay.
Can you pull that from his newscast?
Oh my gosh!
Sure.
I think that I want the newsman Austin Eller say it again, Austin. Make it easy.
Oh man, do I have to say this again?
Yeah, just to make it easier for Deborah pulling the audio.
I got to get the logger, so
I don't know.
You know what? All right, we'll just go back and get it.
Yeah.
The freak-off party, by the way, in reference to the Diddy trial going on right now. Coming up in 30 minutes, Peter Haralambous from ABC News going to join us in ABC previewing jury selection ongoing in the Diddy trial. Just a couple of minutes, Mike McKee from Bloomberg News on the Blank Show that has become Newark Airport up in Jersey. Right now, though, continuing our team coverage of the major announcement from Governor Brian Kemp joining us live on the Mark Aram Show. He officially runs the night. You hear him live 7 to 9 here on 95.5 WSB. Shelley Winter, host of the Shelley Winter Show. Good morning, my friend. How are you?
Good morning, my brother. You just gave me my new bumper, and also you interrupting my freak off time right now.
Well, that song, Longoria, back when we were on at night, that was our show intro. We run
I'm stealing it.
Yeah, no, it's yours. I'm gifting it to you. It's a great song.
Yes, absolutely.
So we used to run this town tonight. Now Shelley runs this town tonight. And Exhibit A was last night following the breaking news from Governor Kemp that he was not going to run for the Senate seat. Shelley Winter had on Georgia Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene.
Yeah, absolutely love my district. So I'll keep my options open, but I haven't really made any clear decisions
All
yet.
right, so you had Marjorie Taylor Greene on yesterday off the breaking news. You interviewed her. You were the first person to interview her. She has said previously that she wants to run for Senate. The fact that Governor Kemp isn't running, does that open it wide open for her, or does she have other plans maybe?
Well, I think what she's looking at is, as she said, she's got open option. She's got options because she polls well in the Senate races, but she also has done, and I didn't know this, that she's also has done polling in the governor's race as well. And so that's what I'm taking from what she said last night, that she has many options, and one of those options could possibly be governor. And I think there's a lot of people in D.C. and a lot of, a consultant class here in Georgia who kind of don't want her to run for Senate because they don't want to have a situation like with what happened with Herschel. Many Republicans in the state of Georgia, the muckety-mucks in the state of Georgia, they truly believe that Warnock and Ossoff, but Ossoff not so much, but Warnock is an accidental senator who can be beat. And I think they need to they recognize that they have to have the perfect candidate. And I'm not sure if many of them are confident that she can be the perfect candidate. But why I think that she may run for governor is because she asked me in my interview to pivot. She said, "Can we take a different turn?" And I said, "Absolutely, go where you want to go." And she started talking about getting rid of the state income tax, which is it's a state issue.
Yeah.
And then she talked about not giving so many incentives to businesses, which is a state issue. It wouldn't be something that a senator would do, and it wouldn't be something that a congresswoman would do out of the 14th. And so when she pivoted to talking about the state income tax and incentives, she also dropped the line a couple times saying Georgia first. And I found it to be interesting because that's the perfect tagline for someone that would be running for governor.
Interesting. Now, a very astute observation mid-interview for you to make that, by the way, Shelley. As I said earlier in the show, obviously Marjorie Taylor Greene has her detractors, but one thing that she has going for her in a statewide race, either Senate or governor, is name recognizability, right? Everyone in the state of Georgia knows her. And no offense to the insurance commissioner or Congressman Collins, I'm certain they're well known, but everyone in the state of Georgia knows who Marjorie Taylor Greene is. So she has that as an advantage.
Well, I would say that she's got great name recognition. You're right, but so does statewide. So does Burt Jones, and so does Chris Carr. And I would agree, John King, as a statewide official, his name recognition isn't as high a profile as Burt Jones or Chris Carr, and that's simply because he's the insurance commissioner, which doesn't get a lot of play or get paid or isn't paid attention to by the voters. But I would also say what other advantage that she has is she's got name recognition nationally, and she could probably raise online millions of dollars because of what we just talked about, her name recognition, because she's well known nationally and she's well known in MAGA.
Well, whether she decides whether to seek the governor's mansion or the Senate seat, we do know now with Governor Kemp announcing that he is not going to run for Senate, we're going to have a wild primary season. What a time to be in talk radio, Shelley.
Absolutely. It's going to be. It's never going to be a dull day during this upcoming election season. Because what happens is everyone move upwards that a candidate makes to run for a higher office opens up the bottom as well. So you're going to have a ton of people running for state house seats, into congressional seats. It's going to be a lot of movement because there's several things going on at one time, a governor's race and a senator's race. So it's going to be and it's going to be on both sides as well, by the way, on the Democrat side as well.
Interesting. So after, you had the breaking news interview with Marjorie Taylor Greene yesterday, you go home and my Knicks...
No, WSB had the interview with Marjorie Taylor Greene. It wasn't the Shelley Winter show.
But then my Knicks spoil your night with an overtime victory over the Celtics. I still don't understand how you're a Celtics fan, Shelley.
Very easily. First team to have an African-American player, and I was taught by a guy who grew up playing ball in the 50s, and he's still a lifelong Celtics fan. I talked to him last night. I'm not worried about that loss last night. We missed 45 threes. We went 15 for 60 from three-point land.
Yeah,
and so
it's called
we missed
karma.
We missed 45 threes. We'll never shoot that horribly again.
Yeah.
And remember, we went to OT and lost by 3.
At home. At home.
At home. I mean, after missing 45 threes. So I'm not worried. We needed to take an L. We needed to come down a little bit. And now I think we sweep the Knicks the next 4.
Yeah, good luck with that. Shelley never takes L's, 7 to 9 p.m. Shelley, thanks for jumping on with the breaking news, brother. Really appreciate it.
Have a good day, Mark. Talk to you all soon.
There you go. Shelley Winter of the Shelley Winter Show, 7 to 9 p.m. here on 95.5 WSB. All right, now updating the ongoing story at Newark International Airport. Take a listen to this audio from the air traffic control tower.
No, you do not have a Bravo clearance. We lost our radar, and it's not working correctly. Radar service terminates, squawk VFR, green change approved. If you want a Bravo clearance, you can just call the towers when you get closer.
Okay, I'll wait for that frequency from you, okay?
Okay, no, the squawk VFR, look up the tower frequencies, and we don't have a radar, so I don't know where you
We
are.
don't have a radar. What the heck is going on in Newark? Joining us live from Bloomberg News, covering the story, our buddy Mike McKee. Mike, oh my goodness, they didn't have a radar in the tower.
For about a minute and a half, they didn't have radar, and in many cases, they didn't have radio communications with the plane that they were planes they are tracking. Now, this was not the Newark Tower. This is a tower in Philadelphia area that they moved all the transmissions to because they thought it would help, and obviously did not. When you have a situation like that and you're controlling planes with hundreds of people on board and you have no idea where they are, it's got to scare you to death. And the ongoing problem is that a lot of those controllers on duty that day apparently have taken time off, medical leave, to get over this.
I mean, it's literally a nightmare situation to the point where one of the major carriers just stopped flying, said they're concerned about the safety of their passengers. At the root of it, what's the issue going on in Newark, Mike?
Well, it is at the root of it, the air traffic control situation. Now, Newark is undergoing some scheduled maintenance on one of the runways, so there is a runway down, which makes operations harder. But the shortage of air traffic controllers around the country and the age of the ancient air traffic control system have combined to create special problems for the Newark airport. And they have been in a overextended status now for more than a week. I just checked a short time ago, and they're still in major delays, according to the people who monitor these things. It's about as bad as you can get still. So it is not. It's not getting any better. They don't have enough controllers, and it looks like it's going to go on for a while.
Yeah, I was about to say, this isn't like, oh, well, things will get better by the weekend kind of situation. This could be a prolonged airport to avoid because you need more air traffic controllers, and they don't just grow on trees.
That's the problem all over the country, but it is particularly acute in the New York area. I mean, one reason they don't have enough controllers here is it's expensive to live here, so people aren't volunteering to come in. But there's a significant shortage of controllers everywhere. The administration's talking about trying to speed up hiring, but that's still going to take a while because they have to undergo a 6 months training and then a 3-year probationary period. So there's no real help in sight in the short run. They're also trying to modernize the air traffic control system, and up to now they've been saying it would take until 2030. So you can see why United Airlines has said to people, maybe find another airport.
Yeah. Well, luckily in that area, you've got the two major New York airports, LaGuardia and JFK. Mike, have we heard from Sean Duffy, the transportation secretary, on this?
Yes, not on this particular issue. The Department of Transportation has confirmed there was an issue at Newark, but they haven't said anything about the radar and radio outage. Duffy has talked about the controller shortage and has talked about efforts to try to boost the hiring of controllers and speed up what they're going to do in terms of modernizing the air traffic control system. He's supposed to make an announcement later this week on that. But so far, we haven't seen anything from the Department of Transportation addressing the current conditions today.
Gotcha. Mike McKee, Bloomberg News. Mike, thanks for jumping on with us for this story, my friend.
Sure.
A quick pop quiz for the Mark Arum Show staff. We'll start with Deborah, the teacher's pet. Deborah, do you know what the mandatory retirement age is for air traffic controllers?
Mandatory retirement age?
Yes, you have to retire at a certain age as an air traffic controller. We're going to Price is Right this, all right? So
Okay.
Your first guess.
I'm going to say 62.
Longoria, the Stoic Eskimo.
I'm going to say 50.
And Vinny, Bag of Donuts.
Going 65.
We got a winner in Longoria. 56.
Wow.
56.
Yeah. Wow. I would thought it would be lower than normal.
Yeah, but I'm 5. Erickson. Oh, not Erickson. Von Hessler. He aged out already.
Oh, yeah. He can't be
He's gone.
air traffic controller.
I get it, but 56. That seems a little young. The pilot retirement age is north of that.
What's the radio retirement age?
Let's see.
Let's make it 50.
Well, O'Neill's 80. So.
O'Neil Williams.
O'Neill's 80.
Yeah, but he's 80. He's in better shape than I am.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
I didn't know that. 56 is just here. Listen, I'm going to play the part of Peter Greenberg and Clark Howard and say, just don't fly anywhere near Newark Airport. They lost radar for 90 seconds. Can you imagine? And it's not like Spaceballs where they jammed the radar.
Right.
Unbelievable. Luckily, the WSB Jam Cam is never offline. Checking trouble on 285 live with the latest. It's Alex Williams.
Looking at it right now on said Jam Cam mark, it is a stalled Amazon truck, 285 westbound, the inner loop just past Riverdale Road, exit 60 down by the airport. It is in the second right lane. Those delays starting to grow back through those airport tunnels, so be mindful of that. The construction on I-20 westbound on the west side was between 285 and Fulton Industrial Boulevard. They've moved it a little farther west now, right around the Chattahoochee River, past Fulton Industrial, still in that right lane, so that'll keep the 285 ramp slow getting onto 20 westbound. And into Cobb County, just found a stall in the right lane of that I-20 collector distributor ramp coming off of 285 before Wesley Chapel. Hero moving that out of the right lane. Traffic brought to you by Wendy's $5 Biggie Bag. The Wendy's $5 Biggie Bag is the best deal in fast food for a lot of reasons, some of which include a JBC, 4-piece nugs, junior fries, and a small soft drink. For the best deal of all time, gotta be Wendy's. U.S. price and participation may vary. Alex Williams, 95.5 WSB.
On air,
online,
on the app,
where you get your news,
is where you'll win.
Download the WSB radio app now and maybe win $1,000.
That is awesome.
The WSB 5K a day bonus blitz.
5 words, 5 times a day, every weekday.
This is Jill from Roswell, and I just won $1,000.
Just enter the word at WSBradio.com or on the WSB radio app.
Your next chance to win is coming up at 12.
The WSB 5K a day bonus blitz
on 95.5 WSB.
Don't ignore cracking bricks and concrete or boat walls. You could be ignoring foundation problems. AquaGuard Foundation Solutions knows these signs could lead to a reduction in your home's value. Visit aquaguard.net today to book your free inspection. Remember, AquaGuard.
I'm here with Chris Hoffman, the founder of Hoffman Financial Group and host of Money Unleashed. Chris, with all the things we're reading, seeing, and living through these days, from rate cuts, election season, and now a new administration, now seems like a great time to make sure we have that comprehensive plan in place. You know, the one that covers all our financial bases.
There are occasions throughout the year where I feel like it's critical for people to engage their financial lives and get the information that they deserve from a financial advisory team. And this is one of those times, to be quite frank. So we ask that you call us if you have a minimum of $500,000 in your full portfolio. But we're going to do away with that minimum so that those folks can have an equal opportunity to understand what's in their portfolio as well. Now, you have to have some money, right? I can't help you to build your wealth at work, right? But I sure can help, I believe, with your 401k, IRA management. There's probably 2 or 3 things that'll surprise you that you may want to take action on. So the next 10 people that call in will work up either a portfolio x-ray, or if you feel like you need a full retirement plan, go to unleashyourmoney.com, click on portfolio x-ray, or click on full retirement plan. We think you'll be impressed enough, and we want you to become a client. There's no question about it. We believe that we are a very competent fiduciary advisory team, and we want to offer that to our listeners. Let Hoffman Financial Group actually show you how we perform, and I believe we perform at the pinnacle of this industry.
Call the Hoffman Financial Group at 404-737-3858, 404-737-3858, or online at unleashyourmoney.com. Investment advisory services offered through Brookstone Wealth Advisors, a registered investment advisor. Insurance and annuities offered through Hoffman Financial Group Incorporated, Georgia Insurance License number 163546.
Listen up, because women have long waited for the world to recognize the importance of our health.
Northside Hospital goes beyond "we hear you" to "we're out here with you," because women deserve more than open ears.
They deserve open doors, and 1 ounce of action is worth 1,000 words.
Northside is rolling up our sleeves and getting to work for you.
This is a house call. Heard. Learn more at northside.com/heard.
Rates are up, rates are down. Every day it's something different. If you're curious about what's going on and when the best time will be to buy or refinance your home, call the experts I trust at Myland. This is Scott Slade. There's a reason the guys and gals at Myland are able to close loans that other local banks just can't. The folks at Myland are local and somebody you can trust to make sure you get the best loan for your needs at the best rate. You don't have to take my word for it. Here are lines from some recent testimonials. Myland kept me up to date and informed with every step of the way. They make you feel like you're one of the most important clients they have. Myland specializes in home financing, and they've seen it all. So whether you want to access the equity in your home to pay for other debts, buy a new home, or anything else, Myland is the place to call. 770-817-2000. That's 770-817-2000. Or online, it's myland.com. Spelled it M-I-L-E-N-D. NMLS and Georgia Mortgage License C148769. Myland's located at 8995 Westside Parkway, Alpharetta, Georgia 30009. Myland is an equal housing lender.
Guys, if you're having ED or performance issues and Viagra and Cialis haven't worked, you need to come see Choice Men's Health. Give us a call or visit us online at choicemenshealth.com. Get your love life back and choose Choice Men's Health.
That's your garage door. Almost broken, but technically not broken yet. And you know the old saying, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, right? So you don't fix it, 'cause it ain't broke. And it gets worse. Until one day, 2 a.m., raining alligators, carload full of dry cleaning, you push the button, and out of nowhere, guess what's broke? Your garage door. At Mo Better Garage, we make that way mo better. A garage door that's almost broken can actually do more damage than one that's fully broke. Jammed up parts put an extra strain on the motor. Rollers out of whack stress the tracks and the belts. Fix it early while it's still a simple repair and before your car gets locked out or locked in. How do I know? Because I'm Mo. Call Mo Better Garage and we'll come over and make it right. Because if it's almost broke, you fix it.
Mo Better Garage, we make it way more better.
MoBetterGarage.com.
What's your expectation for your meeting with the Canadian Prime Minister tomorrow?
I don't know. He's coming to see me. I'm not sure what he wants to see me about, but I guess he wants to make a deal. Everybody does. They all want to make a deal because we have something that they all want. We have something that they all want.
That meeting between President Trump and Canadian Prime Minister Mark Carney set to kick off at 11:30 any moment now. We'll monitor that and give you updates here on 95.5 WS&B. Going back to the mandatory retirement age of 56 to be an air traffic controller. If you have aged out to be an air traffic controller, it's probably time to get that shingles vaccine. Common Vaccines has now an added benefit.
People who get vaccinated for shingles have a much lower risk of heart attack and stroke. A study in the European Heart Journal showed the shingles vaccine provides a 23% lower risk of cardiovascular disease that lasts for 8 years. Shingles is linked to a variety of heart problems.
I have not had shingles, knock on wood. I never get them, but I heard it's a miserable experience. I should go get Maya keeps telling me to get the shingles vaccine. Have you had it yet, Longo?
The shingles vaccine or shingles?
Neither of them. No. Deborah, are you shingle free in 93?
I actually did get shingles. If you have chicken pox, yeah, of course. And my parents made me go to a chicken pox party when I was a kid.
A child abuse.
Yeah, a couple years ago, I was just in a really stressful situation that kind of brought them on, and it was awful.
Sucks.
Yeah, it was worse than the original chicken pox.
All right, I'm going to go get shingles vaccine this weekend. Real quick, we love Tulsa King. Season 3, a new star on Tulsa King, Deborah. Who's going to be joining the cast?
Yeah, if you haven't watched it yet, you can marathon it, binge watch it. Season 3 is in production, and they're adding Kevin Pollak to the cast. He's going to be playing a special agent who's got like a vendetta against Sylvester Stallone's character.
Love it. All right, so Kevin Pollak, love him as an actor. He's also a big poker guy. Oh. So if you can book him on the show, and I can invite him to Sanjay's poker game, and we can,
they film locally.
I know, exactly. So reach out to our buddy that we had on from Tulsa King.
Jay,
yeah. And see if we can get Kevin Pollak on. I'd love to have that. All right. Season 3 in Atlanta starring Kevin Pollak. News, weather, and traffic. When we come back, we are going to monitor the meeting between the president and the prime minister. Peter Haralambous previewing the Diddy trial, and Deborah's got tickets to give away. Stay with us, friends. So much more to come. The Mark Arum Show on 95.5 WSB.
Our weather is so unpredictable, and your roof takes all the abuse. If it needs repair or replacement, think of Findlay First, the roof guys, the perfect match for any roofing issues. Schedule your free roof analysis at findlayroofing.com. Roof.
Hi, this is Candace from Exovations, and have I got a tip for you. Don't just take my word for it. For over 20 years, you've heard me on the radio sharing remodeling advice. But if you really want to know what sets Exovations apart, go read our reviews. You'll see words like amazing work, incredible experience from start to finish, and again, stress-free. But don't just listen to me. Listen to our reviews. Google Exovations or visit exovations.com.
This is Scott Slade. Nothing takes the place of time when it comes to spotting problems with your health, especially cancer. The earlier, the better. Like me. My doctor saw one lab work number that led to a diagnosis early enough, so I still had options. That's where virtual imaging comes in. They've got the best CT imaging in the Southeast with 98% accuracy and low radiation. Virtual imaging's LD CT whole body scan can be invaluable, giving you time and options for early treatment. They can detect tumors as early as precancerous virtually anywhere in your body, and aneurysms you may not even know are there. For a limited time, Virtual Imaging is offering their LDCT body scan for only $995 per scan. That's a $2,495 value. Now, appointments must be scheduled in May. There are a limited number of scans available at this price, so a few minimum requirements may apply. Don't put this off. I've done it. Call 404-678-SCAN. That's 404-678-SCAN. Or make an appointment by visiting their website at virtualimagingatl.com.
Attention seniors, do you want more personalized healthcare with more one-on-one time with your doctor? Then join us at the grand opening of CenterWell Swanee. CenterWell offers senior-focused primary care that's centered on you. Celebrate with us on Wednesday, May 14th, near the Walmart off Interstate 85 here in Swanee, from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. Enjoy food, music, and more at this free community event. Plus, tour the new doctor's office and meet the care team. For details, visit ComeToCenterwellGeorgia.com. That's ComeToCenterwellGeorgia.com.
Is your old AC unit ready for another sweltering Atlanta summer? Probably not. Hey, good news. Mark Arum back from my friends at Reliable. Great new deal going on right now, guys. Any size AC, just $69.99 a month, zero down, low monthly payments, and next day installation guaranteed, or they pay you $500. Any AC, just $69.99 a month. Book an appointment for a convenient time right on their website at reliableair.com and click on the schedule service button or call or text 770-594-9969.
Live from the Superior Plumbing Studios.
News,
weather,
traffic.
95.5 WSB.
Atlanta's News and Talk.
It's 11:30. I'm Austin Eller. This news brought to you by Rocco's European Garage. Our top local story, 17 accused sex traffickers in the Henry County area are arrested in Operation Burn Notice. That follows a multi-agency undercover operation involving the GBI, Henry County Sheriff's Office, and Homeland Security investigators. Those arrested range in age from 17 to 59. Now they're accused of traveling from areas around Henry County with the intent to either buy sex or engage in commercial sexual activity. Tariffs will be the focus of a conversation at the White House today.
Today, Canada's new Prime Minister, Mark Carney, will make his first visit to the White House. His country has been targeted by many Trump tariffs.
I'm not sure what he wants to see me about, but I guess he wants to make a deal.
Nancy Cortez reports Carney has vowed to fight back against President Trump's tariffs. Carney's election victory last month is seen as a possible response to U.S. trade policies. Meanwhile, the U.S. trade deficit hit a record in March as companies raced to import goods ahead of those new tariffs. Government figures show the trade gap rose by 14% to more than $140 billion for the month. The larger-than-expected jump comes as businesses rush to lock in cheaper prices on foreign products before the start of the tariffs. So far this year, the trade deficit has spiked more than 90% compared to the same period last year. Senator John Ossoff responds after word that Governor Brian Kemp will not challenge his Senate seat next fall. Ossoff tells WSB he's welcoming all challengers.
Regardless of who runs, I'm prepared for any challenger. And, my daily work is serving the people of Georgia, continuing the legislative work I'm doing on behalf of my constituents in the U.S. Senate.
So far, no Republicans have announced plans to run, although Southeast Georgia Congressman Buddy Carter previously said he would be open to running if Kemp did not. New airstrikes this morning from Israel and Yemen, days after Houthi rebels fire a missile that hit near one of Israel's major airports.
The IDF confirmed that it did launch what it calls a wave of airstrikes and that it has now destroyed the Sana'a International Airport in Yemen's capital. The military there says the airport is now completely disabled.
Remy Inocencio reports the airport is Houthi-controlled. The clock is ticking down before the conclave to pick a new pope begins tomorrow in the Vatican. All 133 voting cardinals have now arrived in Rome.
At the last papal conclave in 2013, jamming devices were reportedly installed in the chapel to prevent cell phones from sending messages to the outside world. And privacy film was placed on windows to prevent drones from spying on the meetings.
Terry Moran reports support staff, including cooks, cleaners, medical staff, and maintenance workers, have already taken an oath of secrecy ahead of the conclave. Aetna says it's pulling its plans off the Affordable Care Act marketplace next year. That also impacts Georgia Access. That's Georgia's state-based exchange. This means the more than 107,000 Georgians on the marketplace who have Aetna will need to choose another carrier when it comes time this fall. It is 11:33. Live team coverage now of traffic and weather. Alex Williams is in the WSB 24-hour traffic center.
Some better news down by the airport. 285 westbound, the inner loop just past Riverdale Road, exit 60. Hero unit got that stalled tractor trailer to the right shoulder. Everything back open there. Right lane construction continues. 20 westbound past Fulton Industrial Boulevard, exit 49. A little slow leaving 285. And the two work zones continue in Gwinnett County through Lawrenceville. You got a right lane block 316 eastbound right around Riverside Parkway. Then past that, they're in the left lane around High Hope Road. Alex Williams, 95.5 WSB.
This is WSB meteorologist Christina Upwards. A mix of sun and clouds today, high 77, lows tonight in the upper 50s. Tomorrow, mostly cloudy with hit or miss rain showers, high near 70. Thursday, mostly cloudy with scattered showers and thunderstorms, high 78.
Right now it's 70 degrees in Beaufort, 69 in College Park, and 69 in Midtown. More news at noon. Breaking news when it happens. I'm Austin Eller, 95.5 WSB.
He's the guy at the desk next to you.
Why do you always go after the game show host of The Price is Right?
He's your co-pilot for the ride home.
Don't tell me how to handle my life.
Eric Von Hassler.
Or anyone else.
Today at 3.
95.5 WSB, Atlanta's News and Talk.
Coming up next, Deborah's got an amazing prize pack to give away, plus
freak-off parties. I'm Austin Eller, 95.5 WSB.
We're going to preview jury selection in the Diddy trial. That's next on The Mark Arum Show.
Window Nation customers have been singing our praises for years. With fast, local service and an industry-leading 96% customer satisfaction rating, it's no wonder.
I researched window companies for the last year to see what the average prices were and the quality of work. Window Nation nailed both.
Right now, get 60% off all windows, plus no interest for 2 years. Hurry, this offer ends soon. Schedule a free estimate now. Call 866-90-NATION or visit windownation.com. That's 866-90-NATION.
If you have a head of hair like Chuck Woolery used to have a head of hair, then you can ignore this message. But if you're one of the unfortunate fellas that's dealing with bald spots or receding hairline, listen up. Great news from my friends at Advanced Hair. That's right. Not a pill or a lotion subscription that helps retain what you have. Instead, Advanced Hair offers the proven, guaranteed solution that regrows your hair where it's currently gone. Gone one day, growing the next. Quick, simple one-day treatment, and your real hair begins to regrow the very next day. It's even guaranteed to grow for life. If you want your hair back, now's the time. Advanced Hair is the place. Takes just one visit, but first you need that free consultation. Schedule now, 470-660-HAIR or advancedhair.com. And if you move forward, you'll get $250 off plus $250 free grafts. One-day treatment, life-changing results, your own natural hair guaranteed to grow. AdvancedHair.com.
Is your financial advisor offering you up to a 30% upfront bonus? Are they promising you up to 10% growth per year guaranteed for your retirement income? If not, you need a new financial advisor. I'm Jeff Jr., founder of Trajan Wealth. If you plan to retire within the next 10 years, don't wait only to find out it's too late. I've seen hard-working folks like you retire only to be required to go back to work, all because their advisor told them guarantees like these were too good to be true. They're not. That's up to $30,000 up front or up to $10,000 per year on $100,000, all guaranteed for retirement income. Don't work when you're supposed to be retired. And if any financial advisor tells you it's too good to be true, they simply don't have the options we do. Call Trajan today at 404-390-4000.
Annuity guarantees are based on the claims paying ability of the issuing insurance company.
Scott Slade here from iRoofer, FGA Roofing. Are you considering a new roof but not sure when you're going to be able to get it into the budget? FGA Roofing is offering a 000 offer this month. 0 down payment, 0 interest for 12 months, and 0 monthly payments. Search FGA Roofing for a free quote today.
He packed in the animals 2x2, ox, camel, and a
11:37. What a busy Mark Arum show it's been thus far, and it's about to get busier and more lucrative for you, dear listener. Reminder, 30 minutes from now, I'm going to give you another keyword in the 5K Day Bonus Blitz right after the new news. Another chance for you to win $1,000. But you don't have to wait 30 minutes. We're giving to you right now what this morning, Deborah Green?
Pair of tickets to see Alice Cooper along with Judas Priest on Thursday, September 18th at Ameris Bank Amphitheater.
All right, I'm going to take it easy on Vin. Seventh caller, Vin. Seventh caller to 404-872-0750. Seventh caller to 404-872-0750 wins that amazing prize pack courtesy of the Mark Arum Show and 95.5 WSB. Alice Cooper and Judas Priest. That's a heck of a show. All right, I'm monitoring the White House right now. I suspect right now President Trump is meeting with newly elected Prime Minister of Canada, Mark Carney. If we hear from either of the world leaders, we'll bring it to you live here on WSB. But joining us from ABC News in New York, our buddy Peter Haralambous. Peter, good morning. Another big celebrity trial about to set stage. Jury selection about to take place in the Diddy trial. What's this trial all about, my friend?
Yeah, so this is going to be a lengthy process of jury selection. It's expected to take about a week, given how high profile Combs is, how many people kind of are fans of his music and knew him as he was up and coming through the 90s and 2000s. The allegations at the center of the case, though, are rather bleak. They allege that Combs basically engaged in a pattern of sex trafficking and racketeering using violence to kind of get his way in both business and personal affairs. There are allegations of violent rape and sexual assault that Combs allegedly participated in these so-called freak-offs. We expect testimony from victims, and kind of there's this open question of what kind of evidence prosecutors are going to present at trial. If there are things they seized, for example, from Combs' home that will be used against him to kind of make this case against the famous rap mogul.
I mean, I would imagine with all the charges, there's a ton of evidence there. Sean P. Diddy Combs still maintaining his innocence throughout?
Yeah, that's exactly right. He is aggressively maintaining his innocence. He has pushed back against the allegations made by federal prosecutors, though he has been confined in kind of a notorious prison in Brooklyn over the last year while he's been awaiting this trial. He separately faces more than 60 separate civil lawsuits. I believe he faces allegations of sexual assault from approximately 60 different people over the last 30 years. Prosecutors here are really describing a pattern of conduct where Diddy was allegedly violent with these individuals and threatened them to keep them silent.
Peter Haralambous from ABC joining us here on the Mark Arum Show. I would imagine jury selection is going to be a slog, right? Very famous individual in New York, no shortage of media coverage. What are the pitfalls for both the prosecution and defense when it comes to jury selection?
Yeah, I mean, there are challenges across the board. I guess one thing that is challenging for prosecutors here is how familiar people are with these allegations, given the amount of publicity of this case. Multiple jurors said they were familiar with the allegations. They were familiar with for example, that video, the now famous, notorious video that CNN posted showing Combs beating his former girlfriend, Cassie Ventura, in a hotel. There's the issues with Combs' celebrity, the fact that many people say they listen to his music or were familiar with his stardom, especially New Yorkers who were coming up in the 90s and 2000s. Combs was kind of a ubiquitous figure in hip-hop music. He not only was a famous performer, but he also owned a label that kind of brought up many famous performers over the last 30 years. And then that's kind of becoming an issue for both sides in a way. They're trying to find an impartial jury here, and that kind of requires finding people who aren't going to have preconceived bias against Combs and who aren't going to come into this thinking they know how these allegations are going to play out because, for example, they've been watching the news over the last year and have seen these allegations repeated time and time again on the news.
I'm assuming Diddy's not using a public defender. What do we know about his defense team?
Yeah, he's got a high-powered team of lawyers at this point. He's, at this point, still a very wealthy man. His net worth is still estimated around $1 billion. So he's hired all these private lawyers. They include Mark Agnifilo, who defended another famous individual who was accused of running a sex cult. He has Tenny Garagos, who's the daughter of famed Los Angeles defense attorney, who defended people including Hunter Biden, for example, the Menendezes. He's got about half a dozen lawyers at his table kind of defending him, everyone specializing in experts in these kind of heinous sexual assault cases to more white-collar type defendants. Really some of the best lawyers he could have in the country in this case. And on the government side, they're being represented by a group of assistant U.S. attorneys from the United States Attorney's Office for the Southern District of New York, an office that is known for carrying on these very kind of aggressive cases against alleged sexual predators. One of the prosecutors, for example, on that case, similarly led the case against Ghislaine Maxwell a few years ago.
Interesting. Final question for you, Peter. If and when this does go to trial, cameras in the courtroom, or are we going to be relying on sketch artists to get this done?
Unfortunately, it's going to be back to sketch artists and accounts from the courtroom. It's federal court, so there's going to be no cameras. You really won't even see an image of Combs throughout the entire trial because he's going to be going straight from the courtroom to his cell at the federal penitentiary in Brooklyn, so he's never even going to be exiting the courtroom and caught on camera, unlike his supporters who you might see in photographs entering and leaving court every day.
Peter Haralambous, ABC, as always, appreciate your time, Peter.
Thanks so much for having me, Mark. Take care.
So jury selection ongoing. That's going to be a tough task. What are we doing with no cameras in federal courts already? Come on. President Trump, I know you listen to the podcast. Longoria posted every day after the show. Let's change that. Executive order the cameras back into federal courtrooms. Now that you're not in federal courtrooms, let's do it. I don't want to rely on sketch artists. At least give us microphones in federal courtrooms. Speaking of President Trump, I have not yet heard or seen his meeting yet with the Prime Minister of Canada, Swalmata. Hopefully we can squeeze in at least a little audio of the two world leaders meeting before the end of the show. Two really tough jobs, right? President of the United States, Prime Minister. Is it a gruesome job? Is that the poll you have out, Deborah? Is the most gruesome jobs?
Most grueling gigs is what they have.
All right, for me, the most grueling gig I've ever had was dishwasher in a Mexican restaurant. Because the cheese, right after Cinco de Mayo, baked on cheese, you get the chimichangas. And, man, that was the toughest, most grueling job I've ever had. Longoria, was it Wiener Schnitzel or this show? Which is more grueling?
No, it was construction. I was doing AC construction for a while.
Wow. All right.
Yeah.
All right. Do dishwasher or construction appear on the list of the most grueling jobs, Deborah?
Dishwasher I do not see, but plenty of construction jobs like carpenter, woodworking, cabinet maker, drywall, plaster, all of that. Home builder. There you go. Home builder comes in on the list. And that is tied for number 13th of the most grueling jobs.
All right. Air traffic controller on there?
Air traffic controller for sure. Air traffic controller is the 9th most grueling job.
All right. Let's do the top 3 most grueling jobs.
Okay.
This is just the United States, I'm assuming.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So number 3 is anything in the military.
Yeah,
especially
absolutely.
now with all of the signal and tele stuff going on.
Yeah.
So number 3 is military.
Military.
Number two, construction worker in general. So Longoria. And number 1, the most grueling gig would be firefighter.
Iris, listen, I think all 3 of those jobs are tough. I couldn't be in the military. I couldn't be a construction worker. I couldn't be a firefighter. But I've got friends that are firefighters. And you're brave, the bravest for a reason, right? They call them the bravest. But when they go out and battle blazes and whatever. But my buddy tells me they have a lot of downtime. They're sitting in the firehouse eating chili, watching TV until all hell breaks loose. But I guess in the totality of the gig. It's a very grueling job. All right, gruel. I've never had gruel.
Don't want it.
I remember it from what was the play I was in grade school? Please, can I have some more?
Oliver Twist?
Oliver Twist, yeah. They served gruel. And ever since then, I've been fascinating. Is there a restaurant that serves gruel? I'm gonna search it on Uber Eats for gruel. Hey, congrats to Mickey from. Ooh, that was a loud bell. Mickey from Social Circle won a pair of tickets to see an amazing concert, courtesy of the Mark Aram Show and WSB. Alice Cooper, Judas Priest, Thursday, September 18th at Ameris Bank Amphitheater. I'm not done giving things away. Coming up after the new news, I'm going to give you another keyword and the 5K day bonus blitz. Yet another opportunity just to get free money. Another chance to win $1,000 here on 95.5 WSB. All right, when we come back, we're going to head back to the White House, see if we can hear from President Trump or the Prime Minister of Canada. We'll update our top local stories. But first, let's check that Tuesday mid-morning drive around town. Live with the latest, here's Alex Williams.
Hey, Mark, still watching that right lane construction outbound, on the West Freeway. It's 20 westbound, just past Fulton Industrial Boulevard. Barrels in the right lane there, a little sluggish as you lead that west side perimeter. Some brake lights on the south side, just volume though, 75 south in Stockbridge as you leave Highway 138, but improving past Hudson Bridge Road. And we got the construction in Gwinnett County out in Lawrenceville, right lane block 316 eastbound at Riverside Parkway. Then past that, they've been working in a left lane right around High Hope Road. Alex Williams, 95.5 WSB.
The Morning Rush Hour.
Looks to be a tanker truck crashed into the median.
Evening Rush Hour.
It is an absolute mess.
And everything in between.
Also, bring the speeds down. The rain is falling on 75 and 575.
Tune in 24/7 with the Triple Team Traffic Center.
Your source for Atlanta's traffic. Brought to you by the Cool Ray Lifetime Parts and Labor Warranty.
95.5 WSB, Atlanta's News and Talk.
Mom deserves way more than flowers. This Mother's Day, give her something no one else can. Jewelry that you built yourself at D. Geller & Son. It's simple. Pick a beautiful ring, bracelet, or necklace from our Mother's Day collection, and then pick the birthstones that represent your family. Our master jewelers will set the stones you chose in the piece you picked, making it one of a kind, just like Mom. Prices start at just $3.95. Come build your own Mother's Day jewelry only at D. Geller & Son in Kennesaw, Sandy Springs, and online at dgeller.com.
Need inspiration? Shop Kroger for mouth-watering meals and appetizing ingredients. Our low prices add up to big savings, plus over $600 in digital coupons each week, and up to $1 off per gallon at the pump. At Kroger, you always get big flavors and big savings. Kroger, fresh for everyone. Fuel restrictions apply.
Right now, you can save on large avocados or delicious mangoes. They're just $1.49 each with your digital coupon. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
This is Greg Trzynski from the Original Mattress Factory. A few years back, there was a surge of online mattress companies offering a one-feel-fits-all mattress. Eventually, they all added more selections. Why? They discovered what we've known for over 30 years. Everyone has unique preferences. At the Original Mattress Factory, we handled a range of comfort choices so that you can select the one that suits you best. Don't rely on someone else's opinion. Try out a variety of options and find the one that's right for you. OriginalMattress.com.
With thousands of 5-star reviews, it's no wonder CertaPro Painters is Greater Atlanta's most preferred painting company. Hear from one of their happy customers.
We wanted to add some color to our walls, so we hired CertaPro. We had built-in shelves that were supposed to be ready to paint when they got there, which they were not. CertaPro spent hours caulking and sanding to make sure the job was done right. It's rare to find a crew with integrity who really take pride in their work.
When choosing a painting professional, choose happy. Choose CertaPro Painters.
Each CertaPro Painters business is independently owned and operated.
Can you remember the last time you turned on the shower and all you got was cold water? Hopefully you don't have a fresh memory of that. Hey, it's Mark Aram. I want you to check out my friends at Reliable Heating and Air. Great new deal on a new water heater. Check it out, guys. Only $29.99 a month and no payments for 3 whole months. No credit check and an unbeatable lifetime warranty. Or you want to go tankless? It's only $59.99 a month and you can enjoy endless hot water. Think about those long, hot showers in the cold, cold winter. Their new water heater installations come with their 100% satisfaction guarantee, same-day water heater installation guaranteed, or they pay you $300. And with their comfort as a service program, you get lifetime repair and maintenance, no additional charges ever, no money down, and just easy monthly payments. So new water heater, $29.99 a month, or tankless, $59.99 a month. Amazing deal. amazing hot water, amazing service. Go online to reliableair.com.
Men, trouble in the bedroom? Not anymore. Priority Men's Medical Center restores your love life in just one visit. Their painless breakthrough treatments eliminate ED and PE. Here's a specialist in men's health.
I'm Dr. Simovitz. Have Viagra or Cialis let you down? Priority Men's Medical Center offers the most effective treatments that eliminate ED and PE, with men lasting longer than ever. 98% of patients see instant results on their first visit.
Priority Men's Medical Center's breakthrough treatments eliminate ED and PE, regardless of age or medical history. Your consultation and first treatment are free. You'll see instant results in the office. Plus, qualified patients get their testosterone checked free. Call 404-885-8885. 404-885-8885. To restore your love life in just one visit, call now. 404-885-8885.
Seems everything costs more these days. Gas, groceries, and when's the last time you checked your wireless bill? When it comes to Big Wireless, if you're staying, you may be overpaying. Switch to Consumer Cellular and get your second month free for a limited time. You'll get the same fast, reliable nationwide coverage without the big wireless bill. Plans start at just $20 a month. Here's Veronica and Jackie, real customers.
I didn't know that I could get something for a lot less money that was actually better than who I was with before.
Anytime anybody complains about their cell phone bill, we say, you've got to check out Consumer Cellular.
And now for a limited time, new customers can get their second month free when they use promo code SECONDFREE. Just call, click, or bring us your bill and see how much you can save. Because when it comes to Big Wireless, if you're staying, you may be overpaying. Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit a store near you, or consumercellular.com and use code SECONDFREE to get a free second month. Real people paid to share their opinions in this ad. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. Taxes, fees, and other third-party charges will apply. See website for additional details.
11:53 on the Mark Arum Show. Deborah, I hate to do this to you, but I may or may not be here on the show tomorrow.
Uh-oh.
I just got an urgent text on the Piccadilly text line. Apparently, I have a toll violation notice.
Oh, no.
I owe $6.99 due tomorrow, May 7th. Failure to pay within this time frame will result in the following: immediate addition of late payment fees to my balance, suspension of my vehicle from the DMV, collection actions, including a negative report to my credit file. Please make your payment promptly to avoid these severe consequences and protect your driving privileges. This is the part that scares me the most. This is my last opportunity. Pay now to avoid irreversible consequences.
You know what might be good is if you go ahead and just give them like Amazon gift cards instead.
I'm going to write back. I'm a Nigerian prince. How dare you? $6.99 in tolls. How dare you? Refer to me as his lordship, by the way. Anyway, yeah, those are just they just keep on coming.
They sent one to my daughter, a 12-year-old daughter. She was like, they're stupid. I don't even drive.
Yeah,
and I was like, yeah,
anyway.
That's true.
But I love the fact that they're not being greedy. They're like, you owe $6.99.
Right.
You know?
It's not $6,000.
Yeah,
right,
they're
right.
like, oh, like that. Aram's on the air. He's not going to notice. He's just going to pay $7 to get, so he doesn't get his anyway. Scammers are going to scam. All right, so we've not. We just go to the White House right now. I'm monitoring live on all the cable news networks to see if President Trump and the Prime Minister are going to come out. They are meeting right now, by the way. Newly elected Prime Minister of Canada, Mark Carney, called for this meeting. He, just elected too. I'm kind of surprised, but he asked for this meeting. Obviously, they're going to talk tariffs, but I don't see the camera's focused at the Oval Office entrance right now, but I don't see either of the world leaders. So. Unfortunately, Deborah, we're not going to be able to get into that today, but that gives us extra time for the fact of the day.
Longoria's fact of the day.
All right, today is National Crepe Suzette Day, and the recipe.
Hold on, crepe Suzette.
Yeah,
that includes asparagus, right? No,
I don't know.
What's in a crepe Suzette?
Well, we'll find.
Right.
I don't know. I'm not going to give you the ingredients,
All
but
right.
I'll tell you how it was made.
Tell me.
The recipe first appeared in the 19th century in Paris, courtesy of Chef Henry Carpenter. According to the chef, he accidentally ruined a sauce for the crepes he was serving Prince Edward and his guests. With no time to recover, he tasted the burnt sauce and discovered the flavors blended deliciously. And when served the dish, Carpenter named it Crepes Princess However,
That's a sweet one. That's enough.
Yeah. However, when the prince gently
That's all right. That's
protested,
enough. It's a sweet crepe. Caramelized sugar, butter, tangerine, or orange zest. Grand Marnier on top. Triple sec or orange curacao liquor on top.
Those are really thin pancakes.
Flambéed tableside. Speaking of desserts, I had Japanese pancakes for dessert last night. Went to Fluffy Fluffy. If you've never had Japanese pancakes,
never, but they sound good.
It's a game changer. It's a game changer. What's the crepe with the? I don't know. I feel like Alex Williams. I didn't know that food. We got a lot of stars of the show, so let's get to them.
And now, are you guys ready for the Mark Arum star of the show?
First off, what amazing team coverage we had today on the Governor Kemp announcement. He is not going to run for Senate. Jonathan O'Brien, our Capitol Hill reporter, joined us live. Eric Erickson joined us live. Shelley Winter joined us live. Swarming coverage on that big breaking political news. Jennifer Jacobs and John Decker joined us from the White House covering news of the day in the nation's capital. We had on Peter Haralambous just a couple of minutes ago in New York City previewing the Diddy trial. And we got to give a star of the show to Austin Eller, our intrepid news fellow. Why?
Freak off parties. I'm Austin Eller, 95.5 WSB.
He is not happy, by the way. So Austin gets a star of the show. Deborah gets a star of the show for the quick turnaround, pulling the audio there. Longoria gets a star of the show. You won Price is Right, right? You did a good job there.
Yeah.
Jeff Garland wins star of the show. I'm torn on Vinny, Deborah. I'm torn on Vinny. So Vinny he made a Chick-fil-A run, got me a chai latte, did all we asked for him, except he had no idea what the Hindenburg was. What do you think?
I mean, he did make 2 trips to get you that chai latte.
So we're going to give it to Vinny?
Yeah, we'll give it to Vinny.
Vinny gets a star of the show. Big show tomorrow. We got political analyst Stephen Lawson in studio. He's going to have more reaction to Governor Kemp's announcement. Actor Casey Clyde from Yellowstone and Landman, and the mayor of Decatur, Patty Garrett. Plus in-depth coverage on all the top stories. So big show for you tomorrow. Thank you so much from the bottom of my heart for listening to the program every morning. Don't go anywhere, though, because coming up after the new news, I'm going to give you a keyword in the 5K Day Bonus Blitz. Another chance for you to win $1,000 right here on WSB. Social media is active throughout the day at Mark Arum, MarkArum. Stay safe. Have a great Tuesday, Atlanta.